Welcome, everybody. We are here for CG Weekly number 375. I can read. It says it right there on my teleprompter. We have a special guest in the house tonight. We're going to be building his computer. I'm going to be building his computer. Anyways, it's the funk master himself, Peter, of MiredMedia. Hey, there he is. It says it on his hat. You can't get it wrong.
Mired, yeah. Hey, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the shirt. As a man who designs shirt, I must say this is one of the most disturbing ones I've seen in a while. But appreciate it nonetheless. Yeah.
Demon Eyes. Let's go. Good to have you.
Thanks for
I'm
having
excited.
me. Really
I'm excited for this PC build. I myself haven't handled a 9800X3D yet, or AM5 really. So this is going to be cool.
What's the difference?
Actually, I can show you with the processor I have on hand. We'll do it over there. But AM5 is the first socket where AMD did flat on the bottom. Okay. You know how they had pins before?
No.
No. Okay. Well, they had pins before,
okay.
And now they're like Intel being flat on the bottom. So it's something.
I mean, I figure we're gonna get into this while you build, and I try not to get in the way. But I have some horror stories when it comes to hardware.
Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good!
It's done!
Festizio just gifted 5 subs.
EVGA. These are all stories I've never told. And you know what? I feel like if there's any place I can tell them, it would probably be here.
He gets to let loose a little bit.
Yeah.
Festizio, thank you for the gifted subs.
Appreciate it.
Electric Yoshi gets one, Ryu gets one, Bismuth gets one, Vretman gets one, Dogcoin Snid gets some regulars, and well, actually pretty much mostly regulars, but half Mired, half here. That actually pretty cool.
Beer is good!
Oh, wow.
Beer is good! Beer is good!
Rabbit,
It's up!
Agility,
Dogcoin Snide just gifted 5 subs.
Nice, thank you.
I know most of those people.
and Rabbit by
Care Bannig, yeah.
Yeah, he sent us a motherboard, X299 Micro that he won from the EVGA streams, and we rebuilt it into a different computer.
He sent it to you because he didn't want it.
Look, I never said this to these guys, but like, giving away X299 motherboards back in those days is giving away burdens, because those processors were expensive to try to finish out the build with. So, but we made it work because we ended up also like coming across a free X299 CPU. Dogcoin Snid in the chat, he ended up getting a build out of it. It all worked out, and so for us at least it was cool.
And as long as it worked out.
And through Rabbit, it worked out again.
All right, fine. I'll allow it.
Intel GDT is murder. Oh no. Oh man. So okay, cool. Let's get over to the break table. We have another thing we're gonna do up there before we begin.
Should I be on the left or on the right?
Wherever you like. Okay, that mic is live.
All right,
over here.
All right then. This is I'm unfamiliar with this setup, so I'm just trying to figure this out. Again, like, would I be better here or there? I'm not sure.
I kind of wanted to be over there.
Okay, then that's why I asked.
All right. Good. But
all
we have all the chats here.
All right.
There's chats over there if you wanted to look that way for it. But here's the computer. It's a Fractal. Before we begin though, I know that Peter likes White Russians. Couldn't quite get that.
Fair enough. Okay, I will say though, ever since, so some of you, who here in the chat hasn't seen me in a while? I know I got a lot of my MiredMedia people here. There could be some EVGA viewers that have not seen me in a while. I feel like if they're on your channel and if they're from MiredMedia, there's probably a lot of crossover. But if you haven't seen me for a while, I lost a little bit of weight, just a smidge, and part of that is I've not had any alcohol in the longest time.
Oh.
I haven't had any alcohol for the longest time. So as a treat to you, I will partake whatever weird ass concoction you will make.
That's part of the theme of the shirt that you went with our great technical evening podcast shows. One of the things we like to do is try weird alcohols.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do whatever weird ass thing you come up with.
He sheared his beard for Peter.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I trimmed up.
You got that Manscaped sponsorship or whatever.
They haven't.
No.
I'm a prime candidate. For
you
that.
You are. Peter better not be driving home.
Yeah.
Well, you don't even know what he's gonna make yet. Like, what is this?
Oh,
what is this thing?
So we got buzz balls here. Let's see. You guys can see it on that camera. And it is 15% alcohol, chocolate, orange wine and cream with natural flavors, but chocolate. Okay.
I am by government mandate a chocoholic.
Good. They saw Chris was going to the casino after. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Well, let's crack them open.
All right, let's do
This
it
is
now.
it. This is it. This is the whole drink.
This is the drink. So
Yeah.
there's no mixing, there's no gimmick to it. Just slug them.
Yes, but my fingers can't grip. You're a pro.
Oh my gosh! Like,
I'm a old-
do
No,
you
we
need
got-
do you need assistance here? All right.
Cheers. Thank
Cheers,
you.
my man. Let's go.
Just like normal.
Ah,
The other guy always gets more out of it than I do. But
finish it off. All right. You know what? Tastes like a White Russian. Little bit more coffee-y
Mhm.
than I'd be used to, but yeah.
The other guy. Damn, Brandon.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Brandon, who I do the podcast show with,
Right.
generally chugs while I sip.
All right.
And
all right.
it's funny that dynamic literally just happened again.
Well, I mean, I am a chugsman. I don't savor anything. That's why I got so big before.
Ah,
I don't savor. I just chug them.
another guest beat Chris at drinking. See, Balsonic knows.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Where's the bag for your pewter? Oh,
Mm.
boy. All right. Well,
Found
okay.
it. All right.
So let's go over the parts.
All right. So this is your show here, so I'll let you lead. But I believe we're not doing an entirely new build. It's more of a. Is this an upgrade, a migrate? Like what do you call this exact process?
Upgrade is a good
Style?
word, but I actually would call it a rebuild.
Rebuild. Okay.
Yeah, it's upgrade, rebuild, kind of works both ways. But the specs here, for anybody who wasn't keeping track with Peter on the Mired show, 9800X3D CPU, best gaming CPU there is, 8-core, 16 threads, so it's still good for productivity.
All right. Good. So I can pretend to be busy.
Yes,
All right,
yes,
that's
just pretend. You just open Photoshop and hit something, and then Control Z, and when somebody walks by, hit it again.
Ah, yeah. See, they don't know, man. They don't know. Don't give away all the secrets of the trade.
I was listening to the show the other night.
All right.
Peter hasn't gotten a build with an M.2 SSD before.
No, it just hasn't come up. Like when I built, or when I had this built, well, kind of in a similar situation with this. When this was built, there was an option of getting an NM2, but it just never really came to fruition because I was like, I can buy a new SSD. What's the difference between an NM2 and an SSD? And I was told it's like fractions of a second on boot up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what does it really
Real
mean?
world difference, not huge, but there is something that's been happening more lately that is going to make this useful. You wanted to play Monster Hunter, right?
Yes.
Monster Hunter, I believe, is one of the few games that's coming out that is using something called direct storage.
Right.
It is literally going to be pulling data from fast SSDs, and it cannot run right without being able to do so.
Okay.
So this is exactly what
All
you
right.
want for that game.
All right. So there we go.
Yeah.
But would you install games on this drive? Like, because this is going to be the boot drive, isn't it?
But it's also just your fast drive. So if you're you could always add a second SSD, and that one could be for games, one could be for this motherboard can definitely do it.
Yeah.
So what could be for games, what could be for work, but as it is right now, at least for any games, if they list direct storage as a requirement, this SSD needs to have the game on it.
All right.
If they don't, it doesn't really matter.
Got it.
Yeah. So for sure on all that, we have 64 gigs of Trident Z RGB RAM. You're definitely not going to see the RGB.
Yeah, the RGB is not really a selling point for me. You might not see it, but I have an opaque case, because I honestly don't care. This is PC gaming. This world is all LEDs, RGBs, but I don't care. And there's actually a productivity reason why. There is a genuine productivity reason. When I do Photoshop, I have to have a controlled light environment because every time I look at an image, it has to say for example, for comic book production, right? I need to see the colors that I see on screen need to be reflective of what the person will see when it's printed in their hands. So if I've got lights bleeding out from my right into my eye affecting the screen, it's going to affect me.
The professional take.
There you go.
You never hear that.
Yeah.
Everybody says they don't like it or they like it, and that's it. You never hear the professional take.
There is a professional reason why you need to have a consistent lighting environment at all times when you are working.
Hey, all right. So let me acknowledge YouTube chat real quick.
All right.
YouTube guys, thank you guys for being here. Net guy, I see you. Kryptonic in the house. Net guy jumped over to Twitch right now too, so you probably can't even see the Twitch unit there. But they're good to have you all.
Yes.
We're continuing with the build. The specs of the RAM, other than being 64 gigs, is CL32, which is a decent timing for the speed of 6400 megatransfers or megahertz.
Mega transfers, that's a new phrase for me.
Yeah, it's because megahertz is like technically an incorrect term for the speed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mega transfers per second, but I don't know why it turned into megahertz. But look, even here, they don't put megahertz anymore. They just say DDR5 6400. So,
back in my day.
Yeah, 6000 to 6400 is the sweet spot for the 9800 XUD, so this will be a solid kit. And the memory list, the QVL for this motherboard has lots of G-Skill options on it, so it's a pretty safe bet to go with G-Skill. So speaking of the motherboard, this to me, this is not something I probably would even have bought for myself. This is a sick motherboard.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because what was this, like 400 or 500?
Yeah, I mean, when you're a mired man such as myself, price doesn't really matter. I just go, tell me what to buy. I'm actually upgrading from a Gigabyte board, so I trust the brand.
See, I'm a Gigabyte man too. I got an X570 Aorus Elite in there, but that was a $200 board.
Now there used to be a company that I would have rather have gone with, out of convenience, if anything else. But they haven't had a motherboard.
One generation of AMD board is all we got out of them.
Yeah, well, we'll get in. We might get into that. I don't know. It depends on if you guys in chat have questions.
Right. So, like I said, it gets to be a little looser on the show. Have you ever seen Peter have an alcoholic beverage on stream?
I'm feeling it already.
Yeah. It's a good thing it's at the start of the show.
Exactly.
There's that Ted DiBiase $1 billion man. Hell yeah.
Hey, that $1 million man is my spirit animal. You guys might have seen it. I've got the $1 million belt and all that.
Wi-Fi 7 on this board. Really good VRM design. It's white. We're definitely going to be able to see that.
Well, no, you're not.
Let's see. You got 4 SATA ports, 3 M.2 Gen 5 slots, and 1 M.2 Gen 4 slot. All right. So, you can realistically ditch serial ATA altogether and go all M.2 on this if you really wanted to. That's really nice. So it's going to be under this. This is where we're going to be beginning, by the way. Since most of this build is going to be a rebuild, we can prep this. Probably we need to take stuff out of this first.
Yeah, presumably.
Let's take stuff out of there first.
So before that, I will say that this morning when I got up, I knew that I would be coming over here, and I knew that you'd be helping out. Again, much shout outs to the Coalition Gaming crew. I knew you'd be helping with me with this, and although I like to think of myself as a cleanly person, we can be lazy sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. So before I came over here, I made sure to pre-dust this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pre-dust this. So this is a working man's computer. It's my daily driver. So, but I made sure to pre-dust it. So try not to be too judgmental. But I will say that whatever you see in there, if you think it's clean, it wasn't before.
I used to work for Geek Squad. I've seen worse.
Okay, good. Like I said, this is not a situation where you'll see a family of mice nesting or a beehive. But
I've seen roaches, lizards, yeah. So it's been pretty bad. To cool the CPU, this was something that I convinced Peter to switch to. Mm-hmm. Knowing Peter's, let's say, adeptness with the PC hardware world,
fair enough.
An AIO is a perfectly solid solution, but it does require a little bit more maintenance than the average cooler.
Okay.
But it can also fail, and then if one of those fail, you really don't know what to do, because you have to know how to take that out. You have to know what goes where, the tubes, all the cables that run to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Air cooling has a benefit here, and the other benefit of the 9800 X3D is that it tends to run cool compared to the non-X3D versions. And as a result, a big air cooler cools it perfectly fine. As good as an AIO, realistically speaking. So we went with the Thermalright Phantom Spirit 120.
I will admit one of the reasons why I did go with, because I believe what you'll see in here will be a Corsair CLC, and one of the reasons why is when I went to building this. Personally, like I've always been like a fan person myself because like it's easy even for me to install. But like after working at EVGA for so long, like it's CLC 360 this, CLC that, and then the CLX. So I'm like, well, this CLC business sounds pretty good to me. Like I worked on the marketing material. It sounds all right. But again, Coalition is graciously advised me against that. So you know what? Hey, let's go for it. And I will say I did have a bad experience with my last fan, which was a Noctua, which is not the problem of the fan. It was my own problem because whenever I was upgrading something and I would like drop a screw in the PC, like instead of taking out the fan like a smart person, I would just kind of jam my finger in like an idiot and just slice my fingers up on the blades. Again, this is my own like idiocy here, but never had that problem with the CLC. Nothing to slice your fingers against.
Radiator fins, they're still fans.
And they're still sharp.
Yeah, but you're not going to stick your finger through the radiator, and if you did that, you're strong.
I mean, the will to just not take the 5 minutes to uninstall it was stronger than the common sense.
Well, can't be as bad as Jacob with scissors.
Oh,
I remember that.
God.
Well, he toughed it out, though.
He toughed it out.
Yeah,
like again, like
all credit to him.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like if that was me, I would have screamed like a girl, and I would have just said, "Turn off the cameras now. We're done."
Bye.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. And I will continue screaming on the floor. But no, he toughed it out for the whole show. You know what? Actually, no, I didn't think about this before, but it might be the case now. Now that you just bring it up, and maybe it's the clarity from the White Russian.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, it's possible. I don't know this for sure because only his nerve endies were in check, not mine. It's possible that because he was working with the LN2, that his hands were so numb that he didn't feel it at the time. It's possible.
Performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah, so maybe if his hands weren't freezing from that, he would have felt it more. Maybe, I don't know. That's just more thought into the scissor gate lore.
You don't need to cauterize the wound. You could have just, I guess, is it still cauterizing it if you're burning it with cold?
He needed stitches, so no, it didn't cauterize.
Right. Okay, so something else I forgot to mention. We're going to be bringing it back to the old days. Look what I have, you guys.
Oh my gosh, that thing. That thing again.
I have it on that
camera. I thought we were done with this forever, but
it's not done. I went to Canada and I saw this and I thought I must have it. And the foreshadowing couldn't have been better.
And I'll tell you this much, and this is as experience from owning this in the office. This is way too much. This is way too much. You will gimmick this once. You will do a gimmick show with this. You'll take one spoonful of it, and then this will sit in your fridge forever. Because you will never put this on anything else. You will never eat this with actual food. Like you're stuck with. You will use 1% of it, and the rest of it will just mock you for the rest of your existence.
Here's where you're wrong. I didn't buy it to eat normally. I bought it for stream redemptions.
Oh boy.
See her here.
Oh boy.
Marmite.
Okay, you might get some mileage out of that. You might get some mileage.
Marmite. So we did get 10 subs. How many Plinko drops do you think we should do? Because on this right, I have one push-up, Marmite, and I don't know, a mystery punishment. I don't know what to do for that one.
Hey, that's for the chat to decide.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So how many drops do you think we do for the 10 subs?
For 10 subs, I mean 10 subs, 10 drops.
10 drops.
10 drops.
Oh wow, you.
Now, the question is how do you decide which one takes the slug? How about this? We'll do 10 drops, right? We'll do 10 drops, and then whichever side gets the more sides, we'll take the hit. So we'll say if it goes on the left side here, this will be for you. If it goes on the right side, it'll be for me.
Okay. I have the labels to actually do that.
Okay, yeah.
So one push-up. We're just gonna do Marmite left is me. I'll put put push up in the middle, and that one is. We'll just say it's me.
All right.
You look like you can do.
You can. I can do my share of push-ups.
I'm the one that needs some help. Let me get this. If you'd like, please write Marmite Peter.
Okay.
Right in the middle. No, we're making it work. Spread the evil equally. Yeah, it's Marmite on one side, Marmite on the other.
Yeah, just kind of making up rules of the show on the fly is really kind of taking me back.
Yeah, that's how we like to run things. Okay, so 10 drops is what we were told.
10 drops, yeah. So
left-handed, which is cool. Okay, cool. So here's. Let me see how many I have real quick.
That's 3.
I have 3 more over here.
And that makes there's 5 so far, and then total of 6, 7.
7. That's all of them.
Okay, we'll do. Well, how about this? We'll do 5 and 5.
5 and 5.
All right. So you drop it 5 times. I'll drop it 5 times.
Okay, cool. So then,
all right.
I'll go first.
All right. That's one for you.
Yep, that's one for me.
That's one for you. Okay, but for the Marmite, it'll be whoever gets the most at the end of these drops.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that's a push-up.
That's a push-up for me.
All right.
Okay, 1 push-up for me so far.
All right, that's 1 Marmite for me.
Marmite for him.
Oh, that's 2 push-ups.
2 push-ups. Oh boy.
All right. Oh man, 3 push-ups.
3 push-ups.
Okay.
That's fine.
That's fine.
3 push-ups, and we have 1 Marmite each.
All right. So let's clear this out. So remember that 3 push-ups, okay. And 1 Marmite each. Okay, so again, Electric Yoshi, please be so kind as to remember all this because I'm not. So 3 push-ups for you, 1 Marmite each. Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
All right.
Brett said, "You're building his PC. Why wouldn't Peter take on all the challenges?" Oh,
you know that's a good point, but he didn't say that when we started. So here we go.
True.
Okay, that's 1 Marmite for me.
1
Marmite for me. All right. I'm gonna put this on the good side. All right, that's 1 push-up for me. All right, good enough. Oh, 1 Marmite for you.
We're back to 1.
Back to tied.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm winning. I'm in the lead for Marmite. I thought I got past this in my life. I thought I was in this part of my career where I didn't have to worry about this anymore. Oh, a tie! I cannot believe this. Okay, tiebreaker. Here it goes. Come on.
Where did it go? Oh.
Oh, come on! That is heinous.
That's great.
All right, fine.
So,
fine.
Peter gets the Marmite. I'll do the push-ups.
I got 1 push. I got 1 push.
Oh, let's bring this back. Hold on. The overhead's not ready yet.
That's fine. I'm just kidding. Sure.
Okay.
I assume that's where we're gonna do them.
Yeah, right there in that spot. I don't have it over here.
So there was no audio.
Sorry about that.
There was no audio that whole time.
Oh.
Oh.
I matched his 4.
All right.
He did 4. He showed off.
I showed off, yeah.
And then I did 4 to match, even though we only got redeems for 3.
Yeah.
And now it's time for his Marmite hit pretzel chips.
There you go. But yeah, I got legs now. I got legs now. You're absolutely right, Brett, man. All right, so overhead. Remember this crap?
I haven't even seen this yet.
Okay, so that's what it looks like in its natural state. It's not food.
It looks black from here, but I guess that's just...
It's like an very deep amber. Okay, so you're familiar with the legend of Marmite, obviously. All right, so I don't know how is the way I should do it.
If you don't want to dip, you could use this.
Yeah, I don't mind dipping because this ain't mine. I ain't taking this one. But like, do I do like a reasonable amount? Do I do like a courteous amount? Do I do the mired amount? Who knows?
You shouldn't have said that last one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right.
You done mired yourself.
I feel like tonight will be a night full of Marmite. So let's pace ourselves.
Immediately mired amount.
Yeah, this is a mired amount, but it's not. This is not as crazy as it's been. It's not as crazy as we've done before. This is way too much. But as someone who has a Marmite history, like it's a Marmite history, so I know what I'm in for.
That looks terrible.
Oh, that takes me back. It's just not good. It's just not good. This is not food.
Excuse me, my fridge is yelling at me.
You forgot to close the door?
It closed, but not enough.
It's not good. Yeah, I swallowed. Again, I have immunity to this. I've had way too much Marmite. I mean, it gets worse when you put Marmite on like other horrible foods, like the super spicy crap. Like, it's what it is. It's what it is. All right. Now, of course, I did it because I lost the thing, but I'm sure you're curious.
I am a little curious.
I'm sure you're curious.
That's why I brought this palate cleanser.
Okay. Artichoke dip. Well, this is actual food. That don't count. That's not what we do on our show.
This is for the reason I bought it.
All right. Give a little. Actually, no. I feel the proper introduction to Marmite is an inappropriate amount.
Like that?
That is fairly inappropriate. Again, that's not as bad as we did it, because when we did it, we had no idea what we were in for. So we put way too much. I mean, we thought it was like butter. It is not like butter.
This looks like chocolate.
It is not. It does not taste like chocolate. That's for sure.
All right, everybody. There you go. That's the mired amount.
That is fairly mired. Like I am reticent for that.
Chris is a great host. Hold.
Yeah. That makes me reticent to see that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck, my man. And I'm just gonna get out of the way in case you need to run to the bathroom. Put it on your tongue. Give it to your tongue.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, see, Jacob took a gag-worthy amount because, again, we took way too much.
It didn't seem so bad at first, and I was actually about to say, oh, I kind of like it. And right when I thought that, it hit me in the face.
It hits, yeah.
Oh.
So, again, this is apparently not even the worst one.
Is Vegemite worse?
I hear Vegemite's worse. Now, we did try it on the EVGA shows. Somebody sent us Vegemite. Oh, shout out to Zalv, man. Someone did send us Vegemite. But I think at that point my taste buds were so fried I couldn't taste the difference.
Oh, that's gross.
It is gross. And they eat this. Like, they sell this in stores and they expect people to eat it.
British people are immune to Marmite. It's our creation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they eat it. I know 2 British people, and they lie all the time. But these British people, they swear that they do not eat Marmite. It is the devil's food. But
That was difficult.
It's not easy. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is just take the tiniest little bit of it and spread it across an entire piece of toast to the point where it's like, why don't you just put butter on it? Something that actually tastes good.
Salted butter.
Yeah, something like that.
You don't need just concentrated salt.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, for tonight's show, yes, you will make use of it, but that will sit in your fridge for until the end of days, until you decide to just throw it away, until you decide that it's one.
I need to get that taste out of my mouth.
Nothing will get it out of your mouth. You can try, but nothing will get it out.
Anyone that thinks beans on toast is 5-star breakfast doesn't have an opinion.
That's absolutely true. You know. Not only do they do beans on toast, they also do toast sandwich.
What?
Yeah.
Is that what I think it is?
It's exactly what it sounds like. Toast sandwich. That's the thing. I'm good for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That helps. That really helps.
It's a palate cleanser, right? Mm-hmm. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the show. For some reason, even when I'm on someone else's show, I just can't turn it off.
Okay, it's right there whenever you want. All right, so we're going to begin by opening up the computer and starting to take parts out.
All right, have at you. I mean, this has the easy, just like unscrew the dials. So for this, would you take off both sides, or would you just take off the one side? Both.
We're going to need to take off both sides because there's hardware that's wire managed that needs to be removed.
Gotcha.
Let me help you with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Magnets.
Magnets.
The best. Keep them away from hard drives, though.
So this should just pop off. Yeah.
Oh, well.
With this side.
You just made me look weak.
Well, I do go to the gym.
Watch out for that GPU cable, brother. Yeah, Oh yeah, did you know? I don't know if the full story's been told because we haven't published our video on it. When we rebuilt that computer, because there's nothing in there. Okay. We rebuilt it, the intention of taking it into Wayne, my channel partner, into his new build.
All right.
Smaller case, downsizing. That thing was just too ginormous.
Yeah, that thing is that's a big boy.
I was handing him cables, and I handed him the wrong cable and told him to plug it into the CPU power connector.
You see, again, like I am now more familiar with the PC world, and I know my way around a computer. But like, to that point, these things happen. Like, and it's like the more experience you have, like you're not immune to it. It's, if anything, you're more likely to do something.
Yeah, because you're overconfident in the cable that you grab and hand off, and so that killed the processor.
Very good, very good.
It's not going to happen tonight.
Oh, no, it better not.
I learned my lesson.
This stuff is expensive.
Look at that nice GPU.
Yes.
1070?
I'm
just kidding. 4070.
Hey, I worked hard for that 2080 when I had it. So here's a motherboard story for you.
Yeah.
I believe it was at the time the new X299 Kingpin motherboard, and I was taking photos of it for our website, and I was like, oh my gosh, who, like, because they ship us the fresh one over from Taiwan, like, the production model, right? Not like a prototype.
Right.
And I was like, who handled this thing last? It's covered in smudges. So I took the microfiber cable. And I brushed it along the edges of the processor port. Like what do you call that? That you put
the socket.
The socket. There you go. So I was cleaning around the edges of the socket, and then the PM member that was with me looked at me in horror as the microfiber cloth went over the top of the socket, and he said, "Peter, you just ruined a $500 motherboard." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "You put the cloth. Peter, you ruined it." What are you talking about?
Caught the pins?
Caught the pins, yeah.
Did it actually bend the pins? Did anybody inspect it after that?
It did bend the pins. It did bend the pins. So we had to send it over to our wonderful, wonderful QA/QC department, where, I'm sorry, Alex, he had to go and straighten each of them. Now, I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter. It was just a prototype. But yeah, that's
And thus the miring began.
admiring. Well, I mean, I was well into my career at that point at EVGA. I should have known better. But again, like they don't let me around the hardware too much. There is a reason why that's bent.
Sick.
Yeah.
Audio card.
Yes. I love that audio card, by the way. I love that audio card. Actually, that audio card, like, that is the origin of, if any EVGA faithful may remember, that is the origin of 9.1 sound.
As in, that was the first 9.1 card?
No, it's not actually 9.1, but I say it is. I
Okay.
say it is.
What-
It's because
Where are you getting that extra speaker?
It's because it can also output. It can also output from the optic. It can output from the optical toslink side and the analog side at the same time. So it does like that double stereo. So like I have a particular configuration where I have like the extra two speakers, and I swear when I told them over at R&D when they were making the EVGA new audio card, look, I don't know what you guys are doing. I don't know what cool new features you're putting in there, but it has to have 9.1 sound. It has to. It just has to.
Did the boss look at you weird?
Well, there's a reason why that card doesn't have 9.1 sound.
Oh. He didn't understand.
He didn't understand why, although it's a very niche audience of one, to me it was very important. So that's why I do not have the EVGA new audio in there.
Let's see. Let's do something neat with this.
All right.
Yeah, I think I have it out here.
Okay.
I had like a stand for it, but it wouldn't have mattered. We're putting it back in anyways.
Mm-hmm.
This is I haven't held a 4000 series yet. This is cool. It's very similar to my 3080 stock cooler, but blacked out. That's cool looking.
It's a Founders Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ask me how I got it, because I can't tell you. But I think anyone who knows.
You can tell us here.
No, I think anyone who knows already knows. There's an implication here.
Quick eat it, Chris? No. Spoken like a true audiophile. There you go. Yeah, audiophiles, man. They drive interesting technology forward.
I mean, there was a time where I was much more of an audiophile than I am now. For when you guys know how it is. When you guys get into a new hobby, you go deep into it, and then you hit the apex of it, and then you realize, like, in order to get anything more out of this, I have to spend way more money than I'm willing to, and that's when it just kind of fizzled out.
Yeah.
Now, my former boss, he was quite the audiophile. Have you heard the stories?
He's the reason the new cards even existed. That's all I know.
I mean, yes, he is an audiophile, but he has a very, like, his thing isn't like buying the latest and greatest tech. It's not.
Oh, okay.
His isn't that. His bizarre hobby. I guess it's not bizarre. Every man needs a hobby. His hobby is old speakers. I'm talking like World War II amps. World War II. Like, he's got like speakers from like the long ago that are like almost like giant gramophones.
Whoa.
Like gigantic. Like
That's a real audiophile.
Like a real audiophile.
Yeah,
And-
like
and
retro enthusiast purist.
And he updates them so, like, he's able to play them on, like, his modern, like, records and all that. And obviously that's a very rich man's hobby. Like, no, not even like, oh yeah, I need to get my super audio crystals to make my sound better. No. This is like, he can only buy it from like one 100-year-old that still lives. You know what I mean?
There's a story about a TV that it was something to like a 49-inch CRT TV that only one existed in Japan in a restaurant that I found out about.
Right.
And this guy went looking for it, and it only like showed up in real world, like some photos
Okay.
in the 90s in this restaurant in Japan. And when he finally tried to track it down, the restaurant was closing within days of when he tracked it down.
Oh man.
And he managed to get the TV. But like, imagine the sheer mass of a 49-inch CRT.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's just, like there are some CRT. it's a similar thing. Like CRT people, there might as well be audio files.
Yeah. You know what the weird thing is? You know what the new? I say new. It's an emerging weird like collecting group. VHS enthusiasts. Yeah, I don't get it.
No, that's
I don't get it. But no, they're a thing. That's pure nostalgia, though. That's pure
That's
nostalgia.
zero what to do with the way it sounds, the quality, anything.
Because
like that.
VHS is objectively trash. It's objectively trash. But there's when you hear them justify it, you can go like, okay, I get it. Like there are some like pan and scan versions of movies that are objectively trash, but you want that one. You want the version with your childhood. You want the version of Home Alone that has the Talk Boy commercial in the beginning. You want the one with the Pizza Hut ad in the front. Like, I get it.
The nostalgia.
Yeah, but no, it's objectively trash.
We're not talking about the clarity or the sound here.
No. There's I want the Laserdisc version of Star Wars because it's the only like un-Lucas edition of it that like has higher fidelity than a VHS.
Right.
Like there's that,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's VHS. But hey, I get it. If you're into that, it's like it's the millennials who are coming into like their money now and they need to collect something. Because let's be real, every generation needs to collect something, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? There was a time where all of us in the VHS world were trying to get rid of our VHS for the new thing called DVD.
Jeez. Okay, I'm gonna put this back in for a second because, like I mentioned, the wire management is in the back and I can't pull the cooler out yet.
Fair enough.
You patch thread so you don't fall down. Okay, and then the stick. What are you doing? A lot of those old tapes would have been lost media without VHS collectors.
Oh man, did you like? I used to have. I did the thing where. What do you call it? Peter's rig has cable management. Wow. Okay, there's a story behind that as well. If it was me, this would not have cable management. If it was me, it would not. If it was me, it would be a complete and total mess.
Okay, so.
But
oh no! Hold on a second. I need a second screw in there.
now I do know this. If I were to stream my attempt at putting together this PC, I have utmost confidence that I would get it over the finish line. But to all the people watching, it would just be nonstop screaming. It would be nonstop. This was like, what's the opposite of ASMR? Like just torture? I don't know.
I like that. Opposite of ASMR.
Yeah.
There we go. That's funny. Okay, I'm trying to. The cooler actually sits on practically on the RAM. It's kind of funny. The curvature of the RAM literally accommodates for the fan.
Now
You can see it right there.
Yeah. Oh, those old rip jaws! I remember those.
Rip jaws, the classic stalwart.
So who are the players in the RAM game these days?
Mostly the same people. But there is a brand that has been making more of a comeback. They never really left, but nobody really heard from them from like the 2010s. Geil.
Geo. Okay.
Geil.
You know what? You remind me of a story. I can't remember who. There's a RAM company, SanDisk. You're aware of SanDisk, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Memory. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, memory. They also make RAM and memory. There was one time that the CEO of SanDisk came to our EVGA office. The CEO, the head honcho, the big man.
The guy.
Yeah, and I remember being told that guy is a legit billionaire.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he's a legit billionaire. Like, my boss was, probably a millionaire, but not a billionaire, right? Rich dude, but like, not a billionaire. And I remember seeing him, the SanDisk guy, walking through our office, and I remember being very disappointed. And it was like, I suppose it's not fair to be disappointed in that because I don't know what I expected. Like, he was just like an average Chinese dude that you would see like doing Tai Chi in the park. You know? Like, I don't know what I expected. Like, I think I expected like a top hat and
Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good!
Scrooge McDuck.
The
Like,
Retman
swinging a
gifted
cane or
lethal in
something. Like, I don't
underscore
know what I
area
expected, but like,
subscription. The
like,
Retman
you'd
gifted a
expect, like,
tier
you would
1
have
sub to
billionaire
lethal in
energy.
underscore
I've
Ari.
always held the belief
They have
that
given 2 gift subs in the
once
channel.
a person gets rich enough, they hit that point where they don't look rich anymore.
Maybe.
Like they just dress wherever. Like, so you can tell like millionaires from billionaires because millionaires are the people who are probably dressing all fancy, buying all the expensive stuff.
Yeah.
You know, having that vibe that you associate with rich.
Some kind of compensation.
And then billionaires are the ones you don't know that guy's a billionaire, and that's it. That's the
Oh, I see left there.
left, right.
Yeah, left.
Gifted a tier 1 sub to left. All right. Thank you.
Yes. Peter's story time. They do get random, so he does know.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I love about streaming.
Yeah, you never know what you get into. But yeah, I just billionaires. I do have another story about. Okay. So I'm gonna throw just a minor amount of shade on EVGA, just a minor amount, but it's fine because let's be real, it's over.
Shade thrown.
Let's be real, it's over. You may remember any EVGA diehards out in the crowd there. You may remember there was a promotion that we had with a hard disk company. I can't remember exactly what it was called, and I'm not going to name them because I don't remember who they are. But basically, they had this software that would basically partition part of your traditional hard disk drive, and they claim make it as fast as an SSD. Yeah, if you
Fusion Drive? Maybe?
Fusion Drive, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not. Again, I don't know who they were, but Fusion Drive may sound right if this is theoretically the hypothetical question in company in question. But yeah, Fusion Drive, I believe it was called. Maybe theoretically, if this is them.
It might be. Fusion Drive though, they did it with SSDs and plus a hard drive. It wasn't just
yeah. But you needed both. But it would like partition like part of your SSD to make your HD.
It might be them. I think it's the same company that ended up working with AMD for Store MI.
Okay, so I don't know how that technology ended up working in the end, and I don't know where they are today. For all I know, that it's wonderful and great. For all I know, I don't know. But at the time, I remember that I was coming back from lunch, and I saw these guys in our lobby, right? And I told my boss, "Hey, there's some dudes here like asking for you."
Excuse me, I'm gonna put it in one of your boxes.
Yeah, there's some dudes here asking for you, and the boss said, "Oh, we're still late for lunch. Can you just entertain them until we get back?" And I'm like, yo, I'm the graphic designer. I don't know how to entertain like business people, right? So then I brought them into the conference room, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, Jacob and my boss will be here like any moment now. Can I get you a drink? Like, no, you don't have to get us a drink, but you know, we were just really excited to tell EVGA about our new product. And then, like, he just starts giving me the spiel.
Oh, no, not
He just,
those.
he gives me the spiel, right? And I'm like, but, like, at what point do you tell them, yo, this sounds great, but, like, I can't sign no checks. You know?
Stop, I'm not the guy.
I'm not the guy, but, like, he's just, like, you know, at the same time, like, you kind of want to go, like, you know, maybe if you waste your energy on me, like, when you get to my boss, you're like, you don't want to give the same spiel again, you know?
It'll be like in what movie was it? Big Daddy? Adam Sandler movie?
Yeah.
Oh, we wasted the good surprise on you.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be all out of energy by the time he gets to them.
Yeah. But yeah, hey, you know what? Shout outs to my boss. He trusted me with a lot of things that he probably shouldn't have trusted me with,
Like motherboards.
like motherboards. In my defense, he never found out about that.
Oh.
He never found out. Sorry, Alex.
I'm gonna grab a little baggie to
Yeah.
put the mounting hardware for this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just 1 second here while I finish unscrewing it. Practice run and Twitch predictions. Oh man, we're not really set out for Twitch predictions right now. we're
I'm so
Myred.
over Twitch predictions. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you never see them anymore.
Yeah, I'm so over that. Man, there were times when I would do a Twitch prediction, and shout outs to the loyal fans out there. They're sticking through it no matter what. But I would make an honest mistake, a completely honest mistake. Oh my God, the pitchforks and the torches, like that you see all coming at you at once, it does something to you, man. It does something.
Okay.
Again, shout outs to those of you guys who stuck through it regardless. But look, they were honest mistakes, okay? Like, I was hosting the show, I was running the back end, and I was trying to do the predictions, all unplanned, all on the fly. Mistakes happen, all right? But yeah, seeing all the pitchforks come at you, like, oh man. Like, at the peak of it, when there was like 2,000, 3,000 people watching, and you see all of them angry at the same time. Well, no, to be fair, half of them angry at the same time. The other half of them couldn't be happier. The other half is ecstatic. Yeah, there's no. Well, okay, if we caught it, then we could reverse it. But usually there was no place to reverse it. Yeah.
Peter's prediction: traumatic stress disorder, aka PPTSD.
Absolutely correct.
Emphasis on the PP. Right. Okay. As we continue on here, USB 3 out. This is a good motherboard for the generation of CPU that you have.
Yeah, the Z390, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like, there are some bare bones Z390 boards. This is not a bare bones Z390 board.
Yeah.
This is a fully decked out Type C front connector. Apparently Thunderbolt. That's crazy for 9th gen era. This is a nice board.
As I think, I only picked it because it had the most USB ports. Got a few.
Oh boy.
Mm.
Wow, that is an IO selection. Well, you should know how to pick them.
No, I mean, to be fair, I had help. Similar to you, actually.
Yep. We're all out there. We're always there, waiting to help whoever needs help.
So what's your take on thermal paste? Does it truly matter?
To a point.
Right. Are you an X guy? A P drop?
Okay, so this generation drop.
Really? The generation matters.
Yes,
oh my goodness.
because like, where's that CPU at? Okay, so this CPU, instead of having all the cores right in the center of the CPU where you can put a P drop and it spreads out from there, has kind of a weird shape where there's one square die and then two smaller square dies below it.
Huh.
And they're slightly off center. And thus, if you put one drop in the middle and it spreads evenly from there, there's a chance that the two CCDs, the little chiplets that have all the cores, don't get full proper coverage, exact coverage rather. And so with these ones, I tend to do kind of like a asterisk.
I see.
And that way it spreads out. And that's actually like a trick I learned from GPU dies. Pasting GPU dies is I do an asterisk and it spreads throughout the whole thing because they're rectangular.
I like how you're explaining this to me. I appreciate it. Again, here's another fun story for you. Flashbacks to some of my good folks over at the PM team. Product management in a hardware company is, I don't know, I guess maybe it's not that different from product management in any other company, but in particular, they have to know the hardware, right? They have to know the hardware inside and out. Our PM guy was very, very, very smart. He was so smart that he just could not pick up on when he was completely talking over my head. Like when I would ask him a very simple question, I mean, he tried to educate me, but there's a certain point where it's like, hey, maybe when you're trying to guide someone to the goal, you realize that you left them miles away, and you need to stop, go back, get them, and catch them up. But no, what do you call it? Yeah, that's interesting. You gotta kind of know your homework about these things before you kind of dive in.
Noctua even makes a bracket that will shift their cooler over, and this is a good way to demonstrate this. Let's use a pen here. It'll shift the cooler over down a little bit so that the center of the cooler rests down here in this quadrant, more or less, of the CPU. So the main part of the cooler is making contact with the hottest parts of these Ryzen CPUs that have their core components down here instead of right in the middle.
All I know is that, like, when you look at these things at the microscopic level, it's like, it's a miracle any of this works. And they're getting faster, too. That's, like, nuts.
Right. Okay, get that one out. Lithlin said, happens when you can't read the glazed look in someone's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, benefit of working in IT is you got to learn how to talk to people who don't know IT.
Well, I mean, I figure the benefit of IT is you get to be so off-putting to people that you eventually teach them to just leave you alone.
I'm not that kind of IT guy.
You're a liar.
Not with
all IT people are like that.
With 3/4 of everybody, I'm not that guy. But sometimes you come across these people and you can't get away from being that guy to them. It's weird. So it's just, if you know an IT guy who's like that, there's a good chance that you're probably the person that he doesn't like very much.
Yeah. But, to that point, like, ever since I started working in tech hardware in general, I have way more appreciation for CS staff. Customer service.
Yeah.
I have way more appreciation. And, because, like, sometimes walking around the office, I'll stop by. I called it the troll cave. I stop by their troll cave and, like, just kind of shoot the breeze with them.
I like that the IT office isn't the troll cave.
No. My IT guy was cool.
You got to be nice to them.
Yeah, my guy was cool. Go to the troll cave. I talked to the freaks and the monsters in there, and they tell me their horror stories of customers that think that they're smarter than they really are. Yeah. So there's some of them out there, like, fair bit of them are like, hey, you know what, my thing doesn't work. Hey, that's fine. We'll take care of it. That's the majority of it, right? Then you got the cases of people that are like, they did something wrong. They know they did something wrong, and they want a replacement, so they got to cook up a story. And you're not as good at that as you think you are. Because they've heard it all. They've heard it all.
My favorite is the ones that say, I tried everything. I don't know what's wrong. You literally can't try practically anything. What do you mean you've tried everything?
Well, I mean, okay, what I mean is the darker side. I'm meaning, like, the guy who, like, says, oh, yeah, I got this thing and it was broken. It didn't turn on. And there's, like, a massive, like, scratch across the surface of it, like, after you took the plastic off.
The obvious liars.
Yeah, the obvious liars. Yeah. There's quite a few of those, but you come to expect that. Sometimes it's a matter of, like, is the part worth, like, fighting over? Like, if it's a $3,000 GPU, you got to put up a little bit of a fight. If it's like, a cracked keyboard key, then just give them the keyboard key, right? Right. But sometimes I think one of the cutest ones was somebody who said they wanted to return a power supply because they said it didn't work. And what they decided to do was they decided to take off the label of an older power supply and swap it with their new power supply, return the old one, and keep the new one they just bought. And it's like, do you think we're stupid? Like, come on, dude. Like, come on. The fan grill is different, for Christ's sake.
So now those people are, like, scamming Amazon.
I mean, it goes all over the place, man.
Super dirty, right, Yoshi?
Super dirty.
So I did want to ask you something about this build in particular.
Go for it.
I have cases. I have even sort of retro. I have an Antec 900.
Okay.
if you wanted to like rebuild this to sell, to put a different GPU in and sell it, or give it to someone, give it away, whatever you'd like to do, like I can hook you up with some stuff
Oh.
because you have everything. You would just need another power supply,
Mm.
and then your cooler, like that cooler, would just go back on it. The RAM's already there. You pick a drive, maybe add that, but I can give you like a basic drive. You know, whatever you'd like to do. It's just like this is a nice board to just.
Yeah, I mean,
Shit.
it is kind of just gonna go. Hey, you know what? How about this? You're helping me out here. You just take it, do whatever you want.
No. I don't want that.
All right, fine. Well, we'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
You know, it's the noblesse oblige of the 1%. Yeah, just take it away. Do as you will.
I mean, I think is it over here? Do I have it over here? Thought I had it over here.
Okay, when it's sold through Amazon, do you handle the product return as a company or do they? Okay, I'm trying to remember exactly how this works. It's actually I don't want to mislead you. I don't want to mislead you, but I did ask about this once. I'm not 100% sure, but if you return something to Amazon, I believe it depends on the deal the company has with Amazon itself. For example, if you buy like a $10 keyboard off of Amazon and you return it to them, it's not worth it to Amazon to ship that $10 keyboard back to wherever it came from, usually overseas. So what they usually do, but you know, if it's like a super expensive like GPU or something, or like a high-end product, I don't know what the threshold is for what they consider high-end. But if it's super expensive, then they might have to send it back to the company, and the company has to deal with it, and then they take that amount out of like Amazon credit, right? But by and large, like, you know, for all the $10 keyboards or $20 whatevers that you return to Amazon, I believe they just stick it on a pallet somewhere and they call it junk. And there are people out there, kind of like those reality shows that like go and buy abandoned storage lockers. They do go to Amazon when Amazon has these like open to the public days, and you can buy random pallets of garbage. Well, I mean, I say garbage, but like they're returned merchandise. And you buy the pallet, what you get is what you get. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like that's how they get that back. I know what Peter was trying to say. I'm just laughing on how badly you pronounce it. What? I'm a ritzy dude. Me and my Or's divorce.
Noblesse oblige.
Noblesse oblige.
Bye motherboard and 9900K. But dude, this is an impressive board. Like, I'm not used to like seeing this level of board. This is, it's the Designaire. Yeah, that makes sense.
Is that what you pronounce it? I thought it was called the Designer. I thought that's the board for me.
He's the designer, the graphic designer.
The graphics man.
Okay, now, and you only moved on up because this thing is even nicer. Although, I think it might be missing Thunderbolt, but unless you even use Thunderbolt,
I don't even know what that is. Like, I remember we were like advertising that on one of our newer motherboards. I was like, okay, so someone explain to me what this is. It's like a USB-C, but better.
Yeah, so you know USB speeds.
Uh-huh.
Right? Regular USB 3.0, blue ports, 5 gigabit per second. And that's fine. Data transfers go quick, especially for people that work with big files.
Yeah.
But for things like external graphics cards or just anything that is essentially running a computer but outside of your computer.
Oh, like plugging in like a monitor or something like that.
That's one way. Yeah. Well, Thunderbolt directly connects past the USB into your PCIe lanes.
Oh.
So it's like having that internal port outside.
Oh, okay.
And that is super useful because PCIe is super useful in general. And some boards have it. It was more of an Intel thing. And now that has been merged into a feature called USB 4. And USB 4 is essentially Thunderbolt 3. And then it's just going to get better from there. So.
But this doesn't have that.
This one might have USB 4. USB 3.2 is USB 10 gig. You have 2.5 gig networking. USB 3.2, USB 4. Yeah, you do.
All right,
You've got it. So USB 4 and Thunderbolt are essentially, they're supposed to be intercompatible.
Okay.
So anything that says Thunderbolt can run USB 4, anything that's USB 4 should be able to do.
So
it's not perfect though.
So for a man of the people such as myself, what would go into a Thunderbolt port? Like, what would you plug into that? Like a USB hub?
On a desktop computer, really, there's not that much. There are some Thunderbolt capture cards, like a camera.
Oh, yeah.
Could run with like a lot more, I don't know, fidelity. But it's more of a laptop thing because laptops can connect a whole graphics card on a dock outside of the computer through one of those ports.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that. Yeah.
Because a graphics card pushes hundreds of gigabytes per second of data. So a measly little USB port, nothing compared to that. So you need something strong like Thunderbolt or USB 4.
I do like how you restream to both Twitch and YouTube. One of the things I really disliked was when we stopped on our EVGA show, stopped streaming to YouTube. Because I was always a YouTube guy.
Oh, okay.
I was always a YouTube guy. But, they, my boss, wanted to really emphasize all the fun Twitch things like emotes bouncing all over the screen.
Yeah, I mean, I actually only do it to YouTube when it's like for special events. My primary is Twitch.
Yeah. I get it. I mean, Twitch is the place to be for this kind of stuff. But I've always been a YouTube guy. I prefer YouTube. Maybe I'm too boomer.
Wow, look at this. That is cool. He's going from a motherboard with an integrated I/O shield to another motherboard with an integrated I/O shield. That's how you know it's bougie.
Man of the people.
Best to think about. I like it. You'll never forget your I/O shield.
Isn't that just standard? Like, I think every EVGA board we sold had like an I/O shield.
Nope. Oh,
Really?
yes to I/O shield. Integrated is. You see how it's like already there?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have to like try to push it into the little
Got it.
rectangle on the case.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Also, I think this is super cool with this motherboard. Here's your Wi-Fi antenna, which I don't know if you're going to be using, but it's not these little screw-on type guys. It just plugs in.
Yeah. Actually, when I actually went to unplug my computer this morning, I was like, why aren't these things coming out? Oh, I gotta unscrew them. Completely forgot about that. But what a time to be alive.
Yeah, like I saw the ports on here, and it's just like this futuristic looking, like, I don't know, what do you call like?
That's where you plug the power in.
Oh, it does look like that.
Yeah, right?
It looks like a figure 8 power connector.
Oh my god! You actually call it a figure 8?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. One time.
I'm the tech here, you know.
Okay.
I got the name.
One time, it was during the great GPU shortage, right?
Okay. I have my shirt still.
Oh,
I survived the queue. I got them all in the cloud right there.
During the shortage, we had a YouTuber in our office at the time, and I think he was filming something about the GPU shortage. And I can't remember the guy's name. He's kind of famous, but like, I'm not in that space, right?
Look at that. Now they can see the Wi-Fi connector / where someone might try to force a power cable into. That's cool though. Yeah. That's so cool.
But like while he was like setting up his equipment, in our streaming room, right? And then while he was doing so, he said, we asked him, like, do you have everything you need here? Do you need us to help you with anything? He said, no, we got everything, but do you got a figure 8 cable? I said, you know what? Let me check on that. And I go outside, and I go out to my PM team, and I'm like, hey, do we have an extra figure 8 cable? They're like, what's a figure 8 cable? I'm like, I was hoping you guys knew. And then they're like, is it like a new kind of connector or something? Like, like, what is a figure 8 cable? Nobody knew. And then, like, he said, I was like, you know what? We're looking for that figure 8 cable, man. Just hang tight. He's like, oh, never mind. We found it. Like, he had one, like, in his bag. It was just tucked in somewhere. And I looked at it. I was like, one of these things? Is this what a figure 8? Is this actually called a figure 8 cable? I go out. I go outside, and I tell him, oh, yeah, it was just one of those power cables. I was like, and, you know, I Googled it up. I showed him. It's like, so is this thing called a figure 8 cable? Like, we've never heard it called that before. We've never heard it called a figure 8 cable.
That's funny.
Yeah, but, you know, I feel okay about that because, like, even, like, Mr. Smarty Pants, like, even he didn't know that. So, I feel validated.
Rabbit, I totally agree. Except for maybe a BIOS update port. That's all. He was saying that he wishes all ports are the at least the blue USB 3.0 ones.
3.0, yeah.
Hey, maybe faster, honestly.
The X, I think all the Kingpin boards had a specific USB BIOS update USB slot right on the motherboard itself. Like, just
good
right
old
there.
BIOS flat. Oh, on the motherboard even.
Yeah. That's like right
Actually,
there.
and this one is supposedly there's
internal
HDMI. That's an internal HDMI, which is cool. If you were to put this in a case like a Height Y70, they have their 4K vertical screen. And it would plug right into there instead of having to do some complicated routing to the back of the computer where the GPU is. That's it functioned for that.
I will say though, it's been almost 2 years now since I repped those 4 letters of EVGA, but I don't know. I still feel like I'm cheating somehow. It feels like I'm being unfaithful. But again,
what can you do?
What can you do? Wasn't my decision.
Right. It's been 2 years. It's crazy.
It's been 2 years, yeah.
I'm plugging power into that all day, said Dogcoin. That's funny. Yeah, it really does look like it. That's funny that I called it that too. And I like it's literally just like it looks like a figure 8.
It makes sense. I get it. But like I've never heard it called that, and nobody else did either.
And there's another one where it looks like a figure 8, except one of them has more of a D shape. And that one I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
And then there's one that laptop power bricks use, and people call it a Mickey Mouse connector.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, because it's a circle and a circle and a circle, so it looks like Mickey Mouse with ears on his head.
The 3 circle one. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
There is no standard for these things. It's actually kind of impressive.
Cool. So the CPUs. This is going to be a fun little lesson here.
Oh boy. So just keep the microfiber cables away from me.
Yeah. That is an old one. And what did I do with the new CPU?
Is it on the box?
It's in its box. Oh, there it is. I can see it. Okay. I call that a tripod connector. Yeah, that works too. So, as you can see, this is a Ryzen 7 3700X. This came out of my little brother's computer. And what do you see in the bottom, right? Things sticking out.
Yeah.
Pins.
Yeah.
And anybody can see it here. You got pins on the bottom. It's not flat. It's a little actually difficult to see on the camera. Okay, there you can see the rows of pins there. Okay. And so that means that a motherboard that would take this would have holes in it.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
You could run a microfiber over that. You'd be fine.
There you go. Unless you clogged one of them.
And I've troubleshot a computer where somebody clogged one of them.
Oh. So
I won't get into this too much. His name was Money.
Okay.
Okay. But yes, we were trying to help him figure out why this computer wasn't booting, and he even sent it to RMA. They said they fixed it, sent it back, same exact problem. And then we just said, hey, grab a vacuum, grab a blower like this. And then he pointed it at it, and literally on camera we saw something go. Whoop. And then we all of us were like, we saw something, and it turns out there was an obstruction in one of the holes, and it was preventing contact and causing issues. And once he cleaned it out with our help, our instruction down there, he put the processor back in and everything worked. It's crazy that you think that like an RMA wouldn't even think to be like, let's just blow it out real quick.
Yeah.
That shouldn't that be part of the process there?
So I have an RMA story. Now I don't disparage anyone in the tech space because I know what it's like to be on the other side of the table. I know what it's like to have to deal with customers. I know what it's like to be in this very fickle world where, quite frankly, these things are working miracles. These things are genuine miracles that they work at all, quite frankly. So I know what that game is like. But there is a company that, because of my RMA experience with them, I will never, ever do business with them. Ever. Ever.
What company?
It is another 4-letter company. It is not the one I used to work with.
No, that's legendary RMA service.
Oh yeah, it's not the company I work with, but this company. This is also gonna help you figure it out as well. I returned. There was a monitor that I had from them that did not work. Like, it just would not turn on anymore. I sent it, like, and it was only like 6 months old. I send it in to be like RMA, like, no, check it out, right? Within 2 days, it comes back to me saying QC checked okay. 2 days. 2 days. 2 days. It comes back. It's okay. I take it out of the box, turn it on again. Still doesn't work. I'm like, okay.
They did nothing.
It looked like they did nothing, right? So then I was like, okay, like, look, I need this monitor to work. So their office was relatively nearby. So I went and I drove over with the monitor, right? And I was like, can you please, like, do something about this monitor, right? And I left it with them. And then I go back home. And then a couple of days later, I get it sent back to me. It said, your monitor was broken, but we gave you a brand new one, right? I open it, I turn it on, it doesn't work. I recognize a mark on the back. It is the same monitor that I brought in. It is the same monitor that they said that they replaced. I'm never doing business with that company again.
Okay.
Like that is just like, not only is that just bad service, that just reveals a level of incompetence that I will not trust tech hardware with.
Brett has a guess that I think it is Asus.
I'm not
not gonna say.
I'm just saying it's a 4-letter company.
Dell, Asus, Acer.
That sells monitors, that lives
All of them.
semi nearby, that I could have driven to. Now again, I am not in the business of
Dell's not near. So
No, Dell's
they're
not
out.
near.
They're out. It's either Acer or Asus. Does it start with an A? That could mean Acer Asus.
I mean, yeah, you're definitely very, 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 very close.
Okay, so new generation AM5 Ryzen 7000 and 9000 series. Look at the difference in the back.
All right.
You see it? This is just flat, right? This is pads, which means the pins are in the motherboard. Don't run a rag over them.
Don't run right over.
This one, the holes are in the motherboard. It's the receiver, essentially. You can run a rag over them.
Okay then. Make sure they're nice and clean. Yeah.
But this is the way Intel's been doing it since like 2002, 2003, and AMD only started doing this like 2 years ago with the pads on the bottom like that. So this is cool. I've not handled this like, you can see like it's kind of different with the way that they're putting their little heat spreader on the top of it. It looks neat, but it can be messy. That's just more spots for thermal paste to go to.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah.
Fortunately, we're using non-conductive thermal paste. So there you go. AIBM, the famous monitor maker. AIBM. We're going to be taking off this stuff too, because that is for a stock cooler. This is just such a beautiful motherboard. Like,
It's a shame after this we'll never see it again because we'll be behind an opaque case.
Yeah, well, I mean, you'll know. You'll have the knowledge.
I'll know.
Look at the back of this thing. And also, for as nice as I said this motherboard is, oh, you know what? Oh, they weigh the same. I thought that this one weighed more. And that's actually a really significant thing with motherboards is like weight, because it's all the layers in the PCB and other hardware they stick in it that makes it weighty. But you know, it's like the whole thing with power supplies. A heavy power supply is supposed to be good, or anything really. If it's too light, it feels cheap. This definitely doesn't feel cheap. Oh, I'm finishing this match, eating dinner, and I'm on my way to you. Okay, Brandon. So, my buddy Brandon, one time I was building a computer. He just kind of hung out like this.
Yeah, yeah.
A very similar relationship. Except I handed him that thing. Little handheld gaming
Oh,
thing.
one of these Amber Necks? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I love these things.
I handed him this, and he beat Mega Man X before I could finish.
I feel like taking that challenge, but I also feel like I need to take advantage of this opportunity of being on someone else's show and entertain them. But I feel like I could take that challenge.
Yeah.
I think I did 2 levels of Mega Man 2 while I was waiting for Monster Hunter to compile its shaders.
That's crazy. Yeah. So he's one of the guys that I was like, man, you got to go and challenge Peter to some retro game. One of these, I don't know, because he's good at some of these things.
Yeah.
I could never beat Mega Man X. I could get to the end, and it was just ridiculous at that
Oh,
point.
yeah.
And then I'd lose my place, and that was it.
Super Mario Brothers 2 speedrun, let's go!
2 of all games.
Yeah.
Let me just address YouTube chat real quick. Snuck, we have a 9800 X3D, 64 gigs of DDR4, 6400 CL32, RTX 4070 Super, and we got this Gigabyte X870E Aorus Pro Ice motherboard going into there.
Is it Aorus?
Aorus.
Aorus.
Like the
Oh,
Egyptian god.
Aorus. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Aorus. There
It's
you go.
X870E
Yeah.
Aorus. Yes. I'm only good at X, nothing else, he said. I mean, he's 100%ed Elden Ring and Binding of Isaac.
I mean, I haven't played Binding of Isaac, but yeah, Elden Ring, that's easy. Elden Ring's easy. Easy game, easy life. Did it on stream.
I like the thing in his stream. It's easy baby game.
My thing is
baby game.
My thing is rated F for too fun and easy.
Beer is good. Beer is good. Beer is good.
Walk with the 34 months. Sorry,
Hey.
59 months.
Shout
Currently
out.
34 months stream.
Man.
Good friend of mine. We have the diamond is in the top left. Okay, I don't know.
That's how you key it in, right?
Yeah. So diamond top left. So literally, it's going in just like that.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
But obviously, you got to be super careful with these.
Oh, yeah, this I'm always paranoid with.
Yeah.
I never like touching processors. I mean, memories notwithstanding.
I know, but it's just like it's still. If I were to drop it above it, we're kind of doomed. So it's just like I can't. I have to be.
Both sides of your brain right now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, left. I'm not telling the mouse story. I told the mouse story 10 million times.
All right.
That was my negative experience with customer service, and it's entirely my fault.
Ta-da!
There you go. Thing of beauty is thing of beauty.
Oh no, he's doing the British talk.
Yeah, I hate the British.
Just didn't finish that sentence. I hate
Yeah,
the whole
I
British.
just
All
hate
the British.
I'm so over the British.
You need to at least put RAM in.
Yeah. We'll get there.
We'll do the RAM.
We'll
Let him
get
do
there.
the RAM. I'm gonna stick some of these spare parts in with the antenna. So are you gonna be wired in or on an antenna?
I also use the I do wired, but like I also use the antenna for some Bluetooth because you need that for Bluetooth, right? Like you know what? Because I could not get the Bluetooth working on this thing until I plugged in the antenna.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, well it'll be in there with it.
Yeah.
The way you can say you had a hand in it. Yeah. And Peter told me the BT antenna.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because I remember one time where I was like, I got plenty of Bluetooth devices. I'll try to hook it up to the computer. It just would not connect until I put in the antenna. And I always thought that the Wi-Fi antenna was for Wi-Fi. You can see where I would think that, right?
Just to give you Wi-Fi, but you're like, I have an antenna. Come on, I want to take a cool picture here.
For the gram.
Yep. Because nobody I know knows that I'm into tech already.
Oh yeah. For the longest time, like, when the like, I've been in the graphic design game like my whole career, but I didn't tell people like, oh, I'm working at EVGA because I was just like, it's just a job, whatever. Maybe it was because of the
yes, Joe, gorgeous board.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was because of the whole like people are having trouble getting graphics cards, and maybe there was talk like, oh yeah, EVGA sometimes gives away graphics cards on their Twitch stream. But there was one day I was doing the Twitch stream, right? And then I started getting buzzes on my phone from guys from high school. And they were like, oh, Peter, I didn't know you worked at EVGA.
Oh, no.
And, that was like, I didn't think anyone cared.
So the people you didn't hang out with because they were nerds.
Yeah, and I
didn't
hate
want to
nerds.
say that part.
I hate nerds. Nerds. No, I mean, just
The-
you know, that like I didn't think they were gamers. Like I was the video game nerd. Like I
That's
didn't-
the biggest. I don't know if you want to say nerd, geek, however we want to use it. Was a friend of mine who played on the football team. Like he was into Magic the Gathering. He played World of Warcraft. He was a PC gamer. All this stuff, and he was a football jock.
sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't know sometimes.
Who? What small world? Wears pants? Conga Maniac. I'm so used to seeing Peter seated. See, here's the thing. So you're taller than I thought you'd be.
Yeah, see, it's very seldom that I have a co-host that I'm taller than.
Well, that's because
Jacob is unnecessarily tall.
yes, he is, and he was also when I met him in studio also taller than I thought he would be.
I mean, you know that.
It just doesn't show on camera.
No, because you know, again, it's not like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like an insecurity thing. It's just that when I set up our cameras, I had us at the same head height because otherwise it'd be like weird if he looked like my dad, you know, and he was just like scaled above me. But there was a couple of times when we do the standy cam where like, yeah, you can see how tall the guy is.
It still doesn't come through perfectly well on camera.
No, because he doesn't carry himself like a tall guy. You just think he's just some nerd. You know? He doesn't carry himself.
Wait, Jacob isn't your dad?
No, he's not my dad.
Okay, so here's your introduction to M.2 SSDs.
Okay, I do know it goes in under that thing.
So more go in under this thing, but your first one you always want closest to the processor.
Interesting.
In this case, it happens to be above the graphics card slot, the PCIe connector. Right there.
That's a tight fit.
It's actually no, because they really shouldn't go over that.
Okay.
Like, this is basically the height, the maximum height. They can go lower than it, but they won't go above it. And so this was what was in that spot. Pull that off. We're gonna take off that thermal tape that's on there. This one has some tape on it too.
You see now, if I was building this, there's always like, should this tape stay on or come off? Like, is this protection tape? Is this tape that's put there for my own safety? You know,
for the safety of the pad that's there. So this is M2A _ CPU, which tells me that because the M2 has CPU designation next to it, it's wired directly to the processor.
All right.
Some of the ones down here might not be. They'd be sharing lanes running through a chipset to get up here. Directly to the processor is the fastest way. It even says Gen 5 right there.
Fascinating.
But the cool thing is, once you just plug this in,
Just kind of snaps down, right?
that's it. And this motherboard is really cool. Retention, no screws. You just turn the knob and that's it.
Whew.
That's it.
No screws.
No cables, no power, nothing. It's in. It's ready.
It's just that easy.
Thank you for the follow, Conga.
Conga Maniac. You know, out of everyone on MiredMedia, out of everyone, Conga Maniac's my favorite.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah. And I'll tell you why.
Dude, feel that. That's crazy.
That is a lot of heft for something that you just take off and don't use.
Oh, we're using it.
Okay.
To
But
tell
yeah, Conga Maniac is my favorite, and I'll tell you why. Because he's the only one that gets all of my random Simpsons quotes.
That's good.
Yeah, he is good. If you get someone like that in your life, you keep him there.
That's good.
Yeah.
He's not taking the bait.
No.
All right. Come on.
You know the interesting? Well, I don't know.
Oh no.
No, but it's not that easy. One of these days, I have to actually go and watch all of Futurama. I just never have.
Oh, it's so good.
I know it's good. Like, it's just one of those things that like I just kind of fell off of, and I just never like got back on. I need to watch it all. I remember when it aired the first time. I remember really enjoying it, but yeah, I just never got around to it.
Wonder what's keeping this from fully locking in the way that I want it to.
Oh man, sounds like a skill issue to me.
It definitely is. But yes, Futurama, definitely watch it. The new show he came out with, It's very mid.
Yeah, I don't hear good things.
Disenchantment, I think, is what it is.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. It's missing the magic. I don't know. It just doesn't hit. In this little connector, it's just like you can see here. Is that this connector isn't sliding over the edge, and so this will still come up. Come on, buddy. Okay, there we go. We did it. See, I just had to point it out to him, and then his vibe gave me what I needed.
Got that mired energy off on you.
Yes. Okay, so what you thought down here are for additional M.2s.
Mm-hmm.
3 slots right there.
For more empties.
That's
right?
awesome.
Yeah.
And feel that too.
That's hefty.
Right?
And that's not cheap plastic.
Right.
That's the good plastic.
See now, you see here that it says M2 underscore CPU, and this one over here says M2 underscore CPU. These ones still go to the processor.
Yeah.
But notice that one says M2 underscore SB.
Okay.
That's Southbridge.
Southbridge. Okay. Southbridge
is this chipset down here, which means that one has to go through this chipset and then to the processor. Extra jumps is always.
I'm so glad I'm learning so much about this because the box is here. I always the most I knew about our good friends over at Gigabyte Aorus was that I could never tell if that was like a bird with a giant mouth or if it was flexing its big buff arm.
Oh.
Like.
Yeah, like it's his leg is coming from under or something.
Is it his leg? That can't be his leg.
Like, okay, how does a bird look when it's like about to attack, right?
Yeah, but then
they're way up here.
The claws are the wrong way if that's his leg. His talons are the wrong way. So it's either like a gigantic mouth, which again doesn't make sense, or it's a big beefy arm.
Just raw.
It's got like a big Popeye arm. It's gonna like uppercut you while flying upwards.
All right.
So, I mean, someone at Gigabyte.
That just looks like a really painful hook. Like that as a weapon.
I mean, like you guys can kind of see the vague outline of that what we're talking about there. I mean, you guys know what the Aorus logo looks like, but like, yeah, like what is that? Like, yo, from EVGA to Gigabyte, what is this? What's going on?
EVGA's logo is clear as day.
Oh man.
Let's hope it's a leg.
EGVA.
I like the idea that it's a Popeye.
Yeah, that's what I always thought it was. I always thought it was a Popeye.
Trogdor, the freaking Burninator over here.
Yeah. Just... with his arm coming out the back of his head there.
Gorgeous board. Yep, Joe. It's a robot bird. Okay, so we get to move on to RAM. And this time, it's Peter's turn. So I'm going to drink some water.
All right.
But do you need any...
I'm pretty sure. I mean, okay. So does it matter if the RAM matter if it's closer to the processor or further away? Does that matter?
Generally, oh boy. Okay, so I know ASRock throws me off because they like the first 2 slots.
Yeah.
And I think other brands like the second 2 slots. So and if you even look at it, if you look at this, it's pretty obvious to me now. Do you see what I'm saying?
No.
The second 2 slots have metal on them. And the first 2, I'm talking about every other, right? These ones have metal, these ones do not.
Okay.
I think that means these are the primaries.
The ones without metal.
With the metal are the primaries.
All right, so this one and this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Further away to reduce signal bounce back on unfiltrated.
Signal bounce back? This sounds like audiophile talk to me.
I mean, in the end, PCB traces, distance. This is the whole thing that AMD has trouble with for speed is just like actually laptop RAM can only go so fast because signal traces is that's a problem in that world, and that's why they're moving to new memory modules, and those are making their way to new motherboards, CAMs.
Okay.
They're not going to have DIMMs. They're going to be these flat things.
Now, again, as Ahmad put this RAM in there, should as a man of the people, as a common man. Should I have a splurge and got another 64 gigs of RAM?
Oh.
Just to flex?
Okay, so let me give you a warning on that.
All right.
The more RAM you put in, the harder it is for the processor to run it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So if you were to go another 64, there's a good chance you can't even run it at its rated speed.
Huh. Go figure.
Yeah.
Even though this board is actually rated at I think it was 192?
Sure. It can have all the RAM, but it may not be able to run it at the full speed. That's the thing, and the correct timings, because then it becomes a problem of the processor. the controller for the RAM is built into the processor. I believe you have it backwards.
Lovely.
Yeah. Okay. I think that would be correct. So you see the slot there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're sure about that, right?
I like to put my hand under it like that. It has to clip in.
Yeah, it's got to clip in, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, there we go. It's just there's like a little gigabyte
Mm-hmm.
for the, but ASRock does the first and third RAM slots. So I thought that was weird to me that they do it differently than everyone else. So the way you're, that's correct. Okay, cool.
There you go.
He did it. He had a hand in it.
Yeah.
Yes. That feels
That's why I went to college.
That feels good to me. All right, cool. Let me get some water.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring this up here. And I want to say a special thanks to a special thanks to Festizio. Here's check this out.
Oh, that's cool. Excuse me. Like a bottle opener, right? Bottle opener and coaster. It's like it does two things. That's amazing.
For a coaster, it generally only does one.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, coasters generally don't do anything.
Wood, right? And it has this like cool, I don't know, blue.
Is that like a burn-in etch or just painted or
No,
what?
I don't know. I don't remember. I did resin, I think.
Oh, okay.
Installing RAM can require some force. Just make sure there's a click.
Yeah, I clicked. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
It's got it's got the bottle opener in it. That's really cool. Now again, I'm not a filthy drunk, so I don't know too much about bottle openers.
All right, so we can do the air cooler right now, which might actually require us to remove the RAM. So that's cool.
All right, awesome.
But you got your practice.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Okay. And the best thing is after this is done, we pull the case back up and we drop it back in, just plug the stuff back in.
Yes,
so
that's
it'll speed up a little bit at that point.
Oh, come on, we're just having fun here.
Yeah.
Contagious.
No. I'm good. What am I thinking right now? I need the cooler.
So underneath this here.
Oh, you know what? We can put this in the anti-static bag.
That makes it good.
And now we have the motherboard box. We can probably put it in the motherboard box. For the viewers, I was doing it under the table. That's like rule number one you don't do. Can you help me in on the back there?
Yeah. That out. Okay. Should go down. Oh, spiky bits on this.
Yeah.
So you've only ever seen like released released boards, right? The consumer boards. You've never seen a production board, right?
You mean the
the
pre-production board?
Pre-production.
No, not particularly.
They are rough looking.
Super early then.
Yeah, they are rough.
The only pre-production board I have experience with is the one that went into that giveaway computer.
Yeah,
and,
like on the back here, where you've got the soldering points and all that. On a pre-production board, they do not care.
Well,
yeah, this is all a mess. Yeah. So one of the things I had to do as the Photoshop guy is when I would get the photos of those pre-production boards and we'd have to clean them up so that they'd be ready in time for release so that you can see what it looks like before you buy it.
You made a pre-production board look like a production board.
Correct.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work because there are so many, you guys know my level of technology and what I'm looking for, right? So there are things where I'll have to go does this matter? Will people notice if this is something wrong? And I would send it to the PM team and go, oh yeah, Peter, you got to clean that up. I'm like, what is that? That just looks like a dot to me. No, that's not just a dot. That is a very important dot that if people see it, they will know that it is a pre-production board and it's not authentic. So clean up that dot.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, sure. I'll believe you because I don't know what you're talking about.
I love it. So first now we can't believe anything we see in
fashion
magazines.
No.
But now we can't believe anything we see in motherboard pictures.
No. A lot of times it just renders too. They're not even photos. They're just 3D models. Yeah.
Look at that chunker. Back there.
You know, it's weird.
It's not
Like,
even that big of a cooler.
it's weird. There's like a lot of elements of working in the tech hardware space that it's just seemingly so mundane. But like, yeah, if you don't know, it's actually pretty fascinating just to see like the nuts and bolts behind like how the machine works.
Oh, dude, I love like the idea of looking behind the curtain in anything.
Oh yeah.
Film, TV, production, any of it.
I got
love
stories
the-
about Hollywood. Oh my god.
Yes,
I got stories.
that you do.
Oh man, when it comes to Hollywood, like
He puts ghosts.
I put ghosts. If you wonder like where those ghosts come from in your Hollywood TV shows, it's because of hardworking individuals like me in After Effects. We put your ghosts in your TV, in your reality TV shows. We also remove the strings when the door gets closed mysteriously.
Or what about when the bags just shoot up by themselves?
Oh yeah, that's strings. Yeah.
That's the one thing that I actually believed
No.
on some of those things.
I mean, sometimes it could be just as low tech as like somebody with like a balloon and they just like blow the air out.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need high tech solutions for everything. But
I like that. I haven't had one of these coolers either.
it's got that kind of like a dual engine kind of thing going on there, like on a hot rod.
Mm-hmm.
Now these are the fins that I've been trying to avoid ever since my Noctua cooler because I'm just remembering like trying to get my finger through there and just like slicing them up. Gosh.
When they're made well, it's not a problem. Noctua should have done better than that, but
Well, I mean, I probably put a little bit more force in it than I should have.
okay, yeah. There are some motherboards where they do their coolers up here on these chips, and the fins are like this, and they don't really deburr them. So if you're like reaching to put a cable up here, you go clap, and you just cut yourself on the VRM coolers. It's
Like
crazy.
I can't remember exactly what I was doing, but it was just one of those situations where I was taking like a screw off, like with like a magnetic screwdriver or something, pick it up, and all of a sudden the screw just dropped, bounced, and then like went in this corner. So I'm trying to stick my finger in to get it, and it's just like. That's when I actually got like one of those magnetic screwdrivers that like extend out that you can just grab. But that was a lesson learned.
I realized something now. We took the AIO out, we left the fans on it, but that AIO was the source of your top exhaust on your case. I might have to get some fans, or just take those fans back out and stick it in the top of the case as an exhaust, because as you can see, there's no fans on there.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I thought you knew what you were doing.
We'll deal with it.
Yeah.
It's a problem we can deal with at the end there.
Okay.
50 plus times are so sharp for zero reason. Exactly, Kryptonic. Okay. It says thermal right, whichever way we look at it. But all right. You need those AIO fans. Drop screws constant for builders. You'll get poked and your body reacts.
Oh yeah.
Makes it worse. Okay, so this looks like we're probably okay. The cool thing about AMD is it already has a back plate. You see how it has these little posts sitting there?
Yeah.
Which means we don't need these guys. We just need mounting hardware to secure to those posts.
Yeah. Well, okay. I've seen these before. Like whenever we sold motherboards. No, not the power motherboards. But we only sold Intel motherboards. When we sold
one generation of AMD board.
Yeah, one generation. But, where I saw these most were for our closed loop coolers, the AMD specific mounting bracket.
Yeah, because the Intel ones always had these guys on there. And fan clips. We need that. Oh, cool. Fan splitter. Where are you gonna plug into? Which one is CPU one? CPU up fan, CPU fan. Do. You ready? Manual. Thermal take cooler. Thermal right. It's the Phantom Spirit. Okay, so AM4, AM5. Take those out. And take the curvy guys. These guys.
Oh, well, while you're working on that, I got a quick story for everyone.
Yeah.
Here's a fun one.
Love your stories.
Here's a fun
That's
one.
why you're here.
Yeah.
Tell stories.
Here's a fun one. You may know that on the EVGA show we had a lot of DJs on, right?
Yeah.
One of our DJs we had was DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Oh,
Real cool guy, nice straight up dude. He was very gracious and very grateful for all the aid we gave him. and he was telling us that, hey, you know what? Let me talk to my friend Will Smith, about showing up on our show. And then the Oscars happened. And the
No!
Oscars happened.
Somebody show him. Somebody show him. One of my regulars, show him. We're gonna bring Will Smith to this stream today,
Yes.
right now.
But it was just one of those. It was just one of those. It just did not work out. It just did not work out.
Come on, it's in the redeems, my friends. We were gonna bring Will Smith here.
Yeah, but we almost had Will Smith. You know, here's another one. Here's another one we almost had.
It's not almost for you. Oh boy. It'll come up eventually.
Here it comes.
Oh, there it is.
Who? How do you have this keyed up? He's gonna go up the middle or what?
Yeah.
This is on this scene, right?
It'll come up. It just sometimes it takes a second. Look.
Oh, hey.
He goes, oh, it's hot. All right, well, the other one.
I know. I saw some redeemed slaps. So I'm waiting for him to come up. I've seen you do this before.
It's okay.
I think it's super great.
Oh boy.
All right, there you go.
There we go. Now we got Will Smith on the show. There you go.
Another one we almost had, but this one was kiboshed. Like, we wanted to do it. Like, everyone top to bottom in the company wanted to do it. But just the we just had to avoid the controversy. We were gonna get Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
We were gonna get Snoop.
What controversy there?
Yeah, it's just the branding thing, you know, the whole, like, you know,
smoke weed every day.
You know, because the thing you have to do in media.
Got yourself Crotonic.
Yeah, the thing you had to do in marketing and media in general is you always have to, like, predict what people will say about your product, and, like, in a negative way. You try your best to do that, right? And then, you know, apart from, like, the whole weed thing, you know, there's also a possibility of someone going like, oh yeah, it looks like the smoke coming out of that isn't the weed, but it's, like, you know, the heated GPU or something. You know, just like nonsense like that. But you always have to be careful of that, right?
It's so.
You always have to be careful, like, because, you know, you never know. Like, you, me, no one can ever predict what's going to go viral. You can never predict it. It'll always be the dumbest thing that you never saw coming. But and also, like, yeah, you know, Snoop's just really hard to get. But, you know, he was in the works.
Snoop of overclocking in a plume of LN2 condensation.
Snoop, but the guy from NWO is okay. Okay, but, you know, much love to Arabian Prince. Like, a lot of you guys didn't know he was from NWO. He wasn't in the movie. He was in one album, like the big album, yes. But
I actually, like, went and asked my brother who came up during the peak of all that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you know who this guy is?
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
Like, mm-mm.
I mean,
I'm
I'm gonna be real. Like, one day, like, I'm getting ready to do the show, and then Jake and my boss goes up to me and says, "Peter, you're not doing the show today. We got another host to go with Jacob." I'm like, okay, who is it? He goes, Arabian Prince. I'm like from Saudi Arabia? Like, which one? Like,
the Arabian Prince?
And like an Arabian Prince? I didn't know who he was, so I ain't gonna lie. No, of course, you know, he's family now. I love that guy.
Yeah.
But, like, at the time, I didn't know who he
He
was.
turned out to be a great guest.
Oh, yeah, he's wonderful.
And
He's wonderful.
I still am, like, super interested in those M cables.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're great.
I want an M cable for my Dreamcast.
Yeah.
I have a VGA to HDMI adapter, but it
Yeah.
doesn't do anything to bring it up above VGA quality. It just makes it work.
No, I have M, like he hooked me up with, like, M cables. Like, you know, I watch it on my TV, like, in my bedroom when I like it's one thing you use it for video games, like a Nintendo Switch and all that, anything 1080. But, like, you know, Blu-rays are 1080, works great upscaling to 4K, especially if you watch, like,
nice. So it's good for everything.
It's good for everything, really. It's like it legit works. I love that thing.
That is awesome.
Like, I mean, your TV will natively scale 1080 to 4K, right? This thing will just do it a little bit better. But, you know, it's better.
Fragility has one for his Switch.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Like, you know, hey, Fragility, preach to the choir. Like, I'm not just shilling for him, especially because, like, I don't even think Arabian gets paid for that anymore.
Oh, dang.
Arabian's a hustler, man. He's a hustler, moving and shaking, like, always making them business deals. You know, I respect Arabian in this regard. whenever he would come by our office, right, and he would go to our parking lot, our boss, like we have numbered parking spots, right? The CEO, his parking spot was number 1, right? And then, number 2, number 3, number 4, so on and so forth, right?
That's why I can't put the fan on first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, every time Arabian stopped by, he would, without fail, always park in the CEO spot. He just did not care. He just did not care. He would always do it, and I got such like a huge smile on my face every time he did it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so thermal paste time. It
All
does.
right.
It did come with its own,
All right.
but I don't remember if the Thermalright TF7 is non-conductive. But I do know that MX4 is. So
Okay.
we're gonna stick with MX4. It's probably non-conductive.
Okay. The only brand that I know and swear by is Kingpin Coolant 2,
KPX.
and KPX. But
I love KPX. I have it all up in my computer.
all right. Okay.
Everything. I did all of it KPX.
I don't even know what it does, but whatever. I just know
It's blue.
It's blue.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's cooler than the rest because it's blue.
All right, now you guys are gonna see the weird way I like to do
All right.
this.
So you say you do like an asterisk, right?
Kind of. I do the dot in the middle, right?
Okay.
Because we still have a chip there, and then I'll do like kind of 2 smaller dots,
Alright.
and then with the excess, I just
And then you draw a little smiley face on your bacon and eggs there, like.
essentially, yeah.
Okay.
I just kind of with the excess drag it around, and there we go. So now I have 2 dots over the CCDs, and then I have the one over.
I've never seen it done like that.
It's fine, believe me.
All right, fine.
Spread method.
Okay.
It'll be good like this. Do we do? It's a gamer's wish for trust, Chris.
All right, man.
Yeah, it just goes.
I'm on board for this already.
In this way, it'll spread exactly where it needs to over the CCDs and the IO. So
Got it.
the IO die. PC doesn't boot. It's not going to be because of the thermal paste. Okay, so cool thing with this is once those brackets are on, this goes on, and you're screwing in, but you're not screwing in. Like you're screwing to the ones that are sticking up. It's
Oh, I see.
yeah,
Okay,
it's a pretty cool mounting method. Okay. Cool. Took the plastic off. I did.
This is where I always get. This is where I always get my jimmies rustled. Because I feel like if you screw this up, that's it. Gotta send everything back.
Nah. We're just putting a cooler on. There's nothing crazy here. But I do need to go to that side.
Okay.
I can't see where it's threading into. Oh, wow. That's a problem.
That's what I like to hear.
That's crazy.
All right, what's the situation?
It doesn't reach.
Huh?
Okay, we're taking that off.
Yeah. What's up with that?
I put.
That is it because you have these brackets going like
Yeah.
happy faces when they should be frowny faces?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. See. You
That's
know.
the technical term for all
All
of
right.
this.
So we're gonna redo that thermal paste job. See,
Okay, I gotta send it all back.
this is it's a teachable moment. Okay.
Okay, no. I totally appreciate it. Like I said, this is why like I get so nervous when I build my own PCs is because like my builds are fraught with moments like these. They're fraught with them, like all over the place. Like this is your first one. For me, it would have been like, oh, should I have taken this part off first before I put the NM2 in? Should I have done this first before I done that?
Look, I was looking at the manual. I looked at it backwards.
You looked at it upside down. There you go.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, look, it's not just me. I'm not the only idiot in the house. It's not just me.
It happens to the best of us, but like I said, this is.
I mean,
See, now you don't have to send it all back.
to be fair, like it happens to everyone. Like, the more tech you work with, the more likely it's going to happen, quite frankly.
And now the top of the CPU cooler is tinned. And for those of you who are old heads when it comes to CPU coolers and thermal paste, you'll know what I mean by that. It's a thing that we used to do is we would take a small amount and rub it in to where it just like covers those microscopic layers. Like this now looks kind of, let's say, flat gray instead of shiny, right? That's because now thermal paste has like filled in the initial cracks, and so now it's got like its own layer already in it. I would do it all the time with with my CPU and cooler installs back in the day. You do like just like you rub in a little layer of thermal paste in.
I think Jacob just puts an X and just slams the thing on.
See, and there we go.
Oh man, I just like you know that on the EVGA show we tried to be family friendly. We try not to swear, and I think we did a very good job of that. But oh my god, every time we had Kingpin on, he just did not care.
Kingpin's the man.
He just did not care. I was like, it's hard for me to keep up with all this, but like, I'm trying to get him talking and not just go into his zone. And I just remember that one time where it was like, so Kingpin, some people in the chat are saying, do you do a P? Do you do an X? Do you do a square? Do you do a circle? What do you do, Kingpin? He goes, oh, what? No, none of that shit matters. I'm just like, oh my god, I can't take you anywhere.
Kingpin, the king of gamer words.
King of gamer words.
He didn't need to be brand safe.
No, he didn't. He did not care. We were on his time.
I love it. Where's he from, anyways? Because he's obviously not from Taiwan.
No, he's not from Taiwan. He's very, very, very Italian. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess New York.
Vincent
Lucido.
Yeah.
He's very unapologetically Italian.
I love it. And he lives in Taiwan?
Yes. And
crazy.
Andrew flew him over, gives him like his own special area and all that. Treats the man very well.
Yes, get all the clips. Thank you. Yeah, dude, that dude is he's a rock star.
He's a rock star. The man has earned it. The man has earned it. For this very, very niche world of extreme overclocking, but he made his bones there, that's for sure.
Hey, now
He's
it's
pretty
frowny
short,
faces, right? Is he?
He's pretty short.
He's one of those ones that like is now like I'm just like, oh, you're taller than I thought, but he's shorter.
The opposite. He's shorter than
he's shorter than you.
No,
thought.
Arabian Prince, shorter than you might think too.
He looked taller.
No, he's short.
Is it just a lanky build?
Yeah, he's just lanky.
Oh, okay.
Short dude.
Okay, let's see.
Hank Basket is big.
That's not surprising.
That's not surprising. He's a big dude.
He's an NFL player.
Yes, correct. Hank Basket is great. Like he's like you said, like
let me check on
he's like a super jock, but you wouldn't think that. Right. I mean, he's obviously a jock and a football player, but like he's a super nerd, and you wouldn't think that. He's a great guy.
I love that. And I think too is that like it doesn't surprise me that pro sports are very pro video game.
Oh yeah, I mean, so what I know about that is that there's a lot of downtime because they're on the road a lot.
Yeah, but it's also safe. Like what's an activity that they can just stay at home, have fun, and not risk themselves? Mm-hmm. Video games. What are they gonna break? A controller? Not their backs.
Yeah.
Like there's some guys that are like, oh, I got some downtime. I'm gonna go wakeboarding, and then they break their knee or something.
Yeah. Interesting thing about the world of the NFL that I obviously didn't know. Like as you guys saw on the Super Bowl show, I don't even know the rules to the game. But one of the things he told me was that the job of being an NFL player is off-season practice. When they're actually practicing, training, doing training camp, that's the job. That's the part he hates. That's the part you got to wake up, exercise, do the drills all day. The actual game itself is fun, and he do that for free because he likes playing football. But yeah, the job of like playing football is in the training.
Oh yeah, I'm a big MMA fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a giant UFC MMA fan, and you hear all the time with those guys. The hard part is the training camp. The easy part's the fight.
Yeah.
Once they're walking into the cage, the hard part's done. So it's probably the same with the actual games. Yeah. But these guys do it 3 or 4 times a year max. But these NFL players are doing it how many times?
Oh yeah. But so you're into the MMA, right? So like you may or may not know this. I recently part of my fitness journey, I got into kickboxing. Yeah. So not quite the same as MMA. It's all the hitting part, none of the hugging part. Yeah, none of the hugging. But yeah, one of the things about what I've learned about kickboxing, and I'm sure it's the same thing with MMA too, is the training is difficult, right? But the hardest part, the part that is like hell to them, is weight cutting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That goes for MMA, wrestling,
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff for
Weight
sure.
cutting is. I mean, if like the more I learn about it, it's like, yeah, we gotta get this out of the sport. Like weight cutting is just
It's dangerous.
it's dangerous, and I want to say pointless, but like at the same time, like it's part of the business of fights where like if this guy fights at this weight and this guy fights at this weight, and you want to have that money match, like what are you gonna do? Get this guy to blow up in weight? Get this guy down? He can only lose so much muscle mass, right? And what are you gonna do to make these two guys that quite frankly shouldn't fight each other? It's like, what do you do? It's
Or just these people who are constantly looking for an advantage, as you would with any sport.
Yeah.
It's just that a lot of sports you don't have to cut weight.
Well, that's the thing, also when it comes to looking for an advantage, because at the end of the day, when it comes to a lot of this stuff, it just takes one shot and then you're down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
You ever do any of those MMA sports?
Yes, I trained at an MMA gym, 2 different MMA gyms, about a year at it.
What's your practice? Jiu-jitsu, just MMA in general?
I'm like 80% jiu-jitsu and then 20% kickboxing.
Striking and
Yeah. My go-to move was usually the armbar.
My go-to move is
yes, we're gonna be watching it in a movie theater.
Yeah, my go-to move is tell him to look to the left and I kick him on the right. It works once.
The leg kick, I have a really strong leg kick.
Really,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
I mean, how are you at checking?
I didn't spar enough to really practice checking that much. I sparred enough to know that nobody taught me hand trapping. So like I'd sit there and I'd try to move my head around, but like the little guys I'd get paired with would hit me 10 times before I'd hit them once.
Yeah.
And so they're like, "What are you doing? Try to catch my hands," And I'm like,
this is no jock. This is no jock talk. The fighters are talking now.
And then I went and I went a couple times with no mouth guard.
Oh yeah, you gotta get
Instantly, and like, oh, blood. Like it was just like pop, 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 blood. I'm like, oh, okay, well that explains it.
There'd be a sequel sparring matches, Chris and Peter. Oh man, we'd have to do by kickboxing rules though, because I don't know any of the setups or escapes for any grappling.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm terrible at clinching. Like I'm just so bad at it.
That's good because I never practiced that much either.
Bad at clinching. Like the best I can do is if we get into a clinch, I'm just gonna start kneeing you and hope that that I win.
Right, all this creator clash and creator boxing and all that. I'm just like, where are the fights? And finally, one of them did an MMA one last Saturday, I think. So it was kind of interesting to see that. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously far easier to learn something like kickboxing or just pure boxing because it's just one thing.
Well, I mean, relative learn. Like remember when those that Carney show. The one where like Boogie took on Wings of Redemption. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you call that learning boxing?
Yeah, but I mean, then throw in, hey, learn how to defend a choke too.
Yeah.
Like and then it's like, okay, so it's fans. I need fan clips. Yeah, I think it would have been cool to get like fighters on the show because
I mean, we had some pro wrestlers.
Yeah, that was cool too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into the pro wrestling scene. At least I used to be. So
Yeah,
I understand it, but the new stuff right now, like my friends, a few of them, and my brother were like all about going nuts over John Cena going heel at this last Elimination Chamber.
That was a couple of weeks ago, right, or a week ago?
Yeah, I think a week ago. Or
he's gone heel before, hasn't he?
I don't think he was ever pure heel.
Okay.
That's like not like The Rock. The Rock was always like.
Rock flips both.
He was heel face and then face heel. It's weird. Like it's like a guy you liked that he was heel, and sometimes you didn't like it. Like he'd talk trash at people. It was a interesting time.
Here's a Street Fighter that plays by the rules, but Street Fighting has no rules. Yeah, I only believe in one rule: no rules. But I do believe in timeouts.
And only kicks.
Yes, and only kicks.
Jury.
Yes.
She makes fun of Chun-Li, doesn't he? That's her.
Yeah,
that's her story.
She's like the evil Chun-Li. I do not know the story.
Oh, okay.
I've played countless Street Fighter games. I do not know.
The only thing is just because like there's an animation of her like pretending to do Chun-Li's animation.
Oh yeah.
Because she's making fun of her.
Yeah, if she that's in Street Fighter 6. That's her perfect animation. She'll do the mocking like thing. Yeah. I know when I get it, that means I did a job well done because I perfected the other player.
Oh man.
You want to talk about head games? Fighting games, like there's no voice chat, right? But there are ways to get into the other player's head non-verbally. And you play enough fighting games, you learn all of them. Some of you in the audience who watch my Street Fighter streams, you'll know I like to do this thing where I call it like you have to watch the whole thing, which is basically I leave them with a fraction of a little bit of health, and then I intentionally hit them with the level 3 super and make them watch the whole super, even though I only had to touch them once. That's one way of doing it.
That's funny.
The other thing you can do is, and this is a pure power move, is you can hit start to skip winning animations, like between rounds, like when a character will do some cute little animations, like I won or whatever. You hit start to skip that, right? You intentionally don't hit start. You let the other guy hit start. Yeah, so like at first it's assumed that like both guys are going to hit start, but like if you just never hit start and you force the other guy to hit start, it's kind of like prison rules where like hold my cigarettes, like you hit start. I'm not hitting start. Show me like, and you can tell like the other guy gets mad when like none of us hit start, like almost like a protest thing. And after a couple of rounds, once he starts hitting start again, like okay, I know I'm getting to you. I know I'm getting to you.
Imagine if there was voice chat though. It would just be
my god,
Call of Duty lobbies.
Oh my god, no, not even Call of Duty lobbies. This would be back in the old school of arcades where people get stabbed in the parking lot. Like, these are mind games of an old school level. That it's what you learned back then. This is how you got under people's skin. But also you learned not to go too far because obviously like Call of Duty, you can call someone like the F word and be done with it. But like here. In the arcade, you cheese someone off hard enough, they'll see you in the back lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll bring friends.
Yeah, I was never that good. I would just like in college there was a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 machine, and I loved myself some Marvel vs. Capcom. But that machine that they put it also had the controller ports.
Yeah.
So I was just playing one day by myself, and some guy walks in with his own controller, puts his quarter in, and just throws me into the air and keeps me there for the whole match. And I was like, nothing. Yeah. I couldn't do anything. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. And I left.
Oh, I mean, look, if it's any consolation to you, it's not fun for him either.
I mean, it was fun for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you for. Oh yes, I'm gonna take you for a ride.
Oh man, that theme is legendary.
Yes.
The theme is legendary.
Loved it, but man, I thought I was good because I could beat most like people that like I'd come across in my day-to-day life. But then I did it at college, and I'm like, yeah, I ain't shit. And if they bring their own controller, I think that's a sign.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say. It depends on the game, obviously. Oh, is Ram getting in the way there?
No, not really.
So I was like you. I was, I'm like that guy in the group of friends when it's like fighting games. Like I'm gonna destroy everyone, but because like I'm just better at video games than your average kind of gamer. But when I went to college, I just doxing myself a little bit here. I went to Cal Poly Pomona, and I didn't know this at the time. But we had like a student the student lounge area with like arcade machines. Our arcade was actually the hub for SoCal fighting game players.
Oh,
that's where that's where our community was.
That sounds terrible.
So you're like, oh, I like video games. I'm gonna give this a try, and like you get annihilated every single which way, right? And you're like, okay, let's see you do that twice. Oh, he does it twice.
Wait, there's cabinets where you can use your own controllers?
Yeah, they exist. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they exist. They're not terribly common, but they're there. But anyway, so just end up becoming friends with those guys, just sticking with it. And then the next thing you know, I'm not saying like I can beat like the finest Southern California players, but that's where I got my chops.
Yeah, that makes sense. You surrounded yourself with greatness.
Yes.
Inadvertent as it may have been, it helped you.
I mean, you get some of that through osmosis.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, it is a little offset because of the RAM, but it's not like it's a problem because
no.
it's still blowing through every part of the fins.
Got it.
So,
But no, that's a prime solution. I figure you would have put it like on this side. Like, does that matter?
I thought about it, but I want it to pull all the way through.
Got it. Like, yeah, it matters the direction of the wind, right? The wind flow. Yeah.
Right, because you're gonna have an exhaust in the back. You don't have an exhaust in the back currently, and realistically, if we added one exhaust in the back, then you have two front intake, one rear exhaust, and this pushes through the exhaust, and we don't have to fight with air, with fans on the top acting as an exhaust, pulling air away from this. I think that actually.
I think the reason why for that was before the 4070, I had a 2080 Ti, the kind with the blow, not the blower, but like what do you call it? That's like it has like a cable, like a mounted fan with the cables through it.
Oh, an AIO?
AIO, there you go. Yeah. So that's where that was mounted.
Okay. Cool. So
you have to excuse me. I've been out of the game for a couple of years. I used to know all this. I used to have our whole product line memorized.
That's skill.
I mean, you had to do it.
But you're also like doing the photos for all that.
Yeah,
stuff
it was
too,
my job
so,
to do all that stuff. Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind. Now I work at a cookie factory, or I mean, biscuit factory.
Biscuit factory.
Biscuit factory.
Fluffy biscuits or the cookies?
Fluffy biscuits. Real biscuits, not British biscuits. Water cooled 2080 Ti, yes, correct.
Okay. We have everything on here. It's time to bring the case back up. But before fan can go in after. So, all right, I'm going to refer to the chat right now with this question.
All right.
His case does not have top exhaust fans right now, and I understand the typical configuration with the case is front intake fans and then top exhausts, and that's just how it is. But look, top exhaust means that those fans are going to be pulling air away from this cooler. The fans would be here. So air intake from the front would likely get pulled away and out before it can pass through the cooler. So if I leave the top exhausts out but add a rear exhaust, then front intake air can go all the way straight through the cooler and out the back. And obviously that's the GPU is going to the heat from the GPU will rise up from there and go out the exhaust in the back as well. Should we leave it that way, or do you guys think I should add the top exhaust fans?
Yes.
Yes, thermodynamics. We have thermal engineers in here, I'm sure. They can answer this. This is RAM. Add the fans, idiot. I vote one rear exhaust, and the second fan can be a top exhaust at the rear. Okay, cool. Right in the back. Yeah, that makes sense. So that way we have two intake, two exhaust.
Is that a real suggestion? I thought he was just messing with you.
No, some people, it's just like, it never made sense to me why an exhaust fan would be here. And these are intake.
Okay.
That's all. One here and one here makes sense because everything is pulling this direction.
Okay, no, that's fair. I just don't trust that guy.
I am real, Peter. You make a good point. Only front may give some good positive pressure. Right, and also, and maybe you knew this with pressures in cases, you will get less dust if you have more intake than you have exhaust.
That makes sense.
If you have too much exhaust, then it pulls air in from unfiltered areas all around the case, and it gets dustier that way. But if you have neutral, two intake, two exhaust, you also get less dust over time too.
Okie dokie.
Like if you look inside my case there, it doesn't look dusty, but that's because I have way more intake than I have.
I thought you just shamefully cleaned it before the show.
No, that's just how it always looks on the inside. I have 5 intake to 3 exhausts. Okay, now I'm adding fan. Oh, that was the kit for that. For my PC, rear exhaust. Yes, we're doing rear exhaust. So, yeah, I'm gonna switch that. Oh, actually, let me take this off real quick, off of here, and we can put the motherboard in that box, the old motherboard,
Okay.
and that way we can save some desk space. Planet dangerous. Let's put it over here. Floating in the air with it. 1 intake to 5 exhaust. No, that's terrible. Negative pressure. It doesn't like this.
I didn't think this board was bigger than that one.
It
Or maybe
happens
just had
sometimes.
that the molding on that.
It's the molding. See, look, it barely fits without that in there. Cool. Does that case have an option to close off the top exhaust? No. It has this though that makes it look like it'll be closed, but it is mesh. And yeah, we can set that back down there on top of that. So third, bring this back up. Oh wow, it does look like it could have had an option to close this off on the top, because it looks like this plate is a separate plate. All good though, all good. Fractal fit. So currently it has 2 intakes. All blow, no go. 1 intake to 5 exhaust. That just sounds like it's gonna 5 exhaust. It's a black hole. Okay, fans do go in last, so motherboard can go in next. So let's
Oh, so fancy. So fancy. We the standy desk at EVGA, that thing barely ever worked. Barely.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, this one's kind of a dumb one. There's no memory on it. It's just up down.
That was the problem. The memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's
The dome one would have been the smart thing to do, but the one that we got insisted on itself, and it would always we would tell it do not remember where it last was, and it would just want to go back up all the time. It's just a piece of garbage. That thing.
okay. I need to line up the screw holes because they will be a little different for Intel versus AMD. Those 3 are in the correct position.
So we were talking about boxes earlier, right? Box molding. I've got a fun EVGA story for you.
Yeah.
So for those of you out there who own I believe it would have been
Good. Okay.
I believe it would have been a 20, maybe it was a 30 series card. No, I'm actually not sure. It might have been the 30 series card. If you own a EVGA GPU 30 series card and it has a corner cut out of it, one of the corners is slanted. Can I see? Let me see in chat. How many of you guys have that box or are aware of that box?
The PCB had the corner cut?
No, the box itself.
Oh.
The box itself. From the GPU, there was a corner cut off on the top right of the box. You remember the shaved corner, right? Okay, Brett, man, he knows what I'm talking about. Fragility, remember those. That thing was such a nightmare. That thing was a complete and total nightmare. I'm not going to name names, but for some reason, there was this guy, not in the company, not in EVGA, but he convinced upper management somehow that he was the marketing guy, right? If I were to compare him to anyone, it would be Lyle Landley from the Monorail episode.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Vince, the ShamWow guy.
No. Oh, no. No, Lyle Landley, right? And he sells a bill of goods telling us oh yeah, I'm going to bring you guys to the next level of your marketing. We're going repackage this, make this thing like the best thing ever, right? You know, he gives the whole spiel because like he's gonna start with GPUs and then move on to cases, move on to other products, so on and so forth. But GPUs he's gonna start with because that's easy because GPUs they sell themselves. GPUs sell themselves.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything for that, especially at that time.
YouTubers sell them for you.
Exactly. But he was, you know, he promised that bill of goods. Anyway, I'm just like, sure, whatever. I'm just going to do graphic design, whatever. At one point, they tell me, no, Peter, he is going to he's going to hire out a marketing agency to do the web page for this launch. It was the 20 series, actually. Now I remember this specifically. It was the 20 series. And I was like, okay, well, fine. I guess I will let you do that because, I'm just a graphic designer here, but whatever. So he goes, the marketing agency does like this web page for the 20 series. And I'm just like, this is not what I would have done. This is not what I would have done.
The quality wasn't up to par,
Like,
or it was just weird.
It's just, it didn't look nice, but whatever. Like, it's out of my hands, right?
Okay.
Anyway, so while he's doing that, I'm already kind of embittered by this, but like, I got other stuff to do, right? So at one point, my boss calls me in and says, hey, Peter, can you walk this guy through kind of our product line and tell him tell him about our demographics? I'm like, me? Like, I'm a graphic designer, whatever. And he was like, yeah, so Peter, tell me about the typical like PC gamer. I'm like, aren't you supposed to know this? Like, you promised us that you like would take our marketing to the next level. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
you're the guy.
You're the guy. But I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. PC gamers, like, when it comes to like motherboards and stuff, like, because he was asking about like what would make someone buy a case. And, like, one thing you gotta keep in mind, like, when you upgrade your motherboard, or when you upgrade your motherboard, sometimes you gotta like, a lot of times you just start off with a brand new case because you gotta like do what we're doing here, disassemble it and all that. So sometimes, like, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna get a new case too. Plus, when you upgrade your motherboard, it's kind of like one of those high investment upgrades because you gotta change other parts too. So you might as well start upgrading your processor. If you're gonna upgrade your processor, you might as well upgrade your RAM. So it all kind of starts from there.
Platform.
Yeah, it kind of starts from there. And I'm kind of like explaining this to him, to the best of my ability. Like, I'm not even the guy to do this, but like they wanted me to do it instead of like the PM guy that I told you about earlier, because he just wouldn't shut up. But like, for me doing it, like, at least like, there's some level of human connection here. But anyway, like, I left that conversation like thinking like, this guy doesn't know anything. Like, he doesn't know jack about
Oh no!
like what we're doing here.
You figured out he was a scammer.
I figured out he was a scammer. Like, I got that vibe from him like immediately, right? But anyway, so when it came to the box presentation, he said that he wanted for our customers to feel like when they bought a GPU that they were going to buy a luxury experience, like getting a brand new phone. This is what he said. That buying a GPU should feel like getting a new phone. And as such, he wanted to replicate the feeling of getting a phone. So if you guys get like, I'm not an iPhone guy. I don't know if you are. I'm not an iPhone guy.
I'm not.
Okay, but like if you get like a new Samsung whatever,
You're
right?
safe here.
Yeah, if you get a new Samsung whatever, right? Like how the box will split in the middle and like you open it like an engagement ring or some crap like that. Yeah. And then you're like, as a tech guy, you get tech all the time. You're like, what the hell is this? And you just throw the box away. Like, give me the damn phone already, right?
That was cool for 1 second.
For 1 second, right? But like, he told us to do that. Like, to have our boxes be like that. I know you guys are like this with like your Amazon boxes. You just like open up and throw them afterwards. You don't care. Like, you might keep the box to like, store it in, but like, it's not an experience.
Intel does it.
Yeah,
actually, the CPU makers all of them did it for a little while.
My i9 came in like one of those like a diamond thing. I'm like, what the hell is this? Did this add $40 to my purchase here unnecessarily? But anyway, so like we had to like design those boxes to do that because he said it would increase sales, and that slice off the corner had to have custom molding done, like custom machining done. Because, you know, if you can imagine how this works, right? You go to a box factory, like they will make you boxes, 6 sides, fold, and you know they'll fold in such a way, right, that you have a box. But to do this diamond cutout thing, they have to make a special machine to do this stupid fold. That thing added to cut from our profit margins off of every card. Like, we don't pass that cost to you because, you know, you guys may know, NVIDIA, you know, locks a lot of these prices in. You might know this already, but like, it cut off of our already thin margins $50 per GPU for this stupid box.
That's a ton.
For this stupid box. You may notice that by the 30 series, like, that fold, gone. And it's just a normal, like, paper box again. Because it was stupid.
That's great.
It was stupid.
I love it.
Yeah. But you know what? We said this won't matter. But, you know...
And that series was a terrible launch.
I mean,
regardless of what you did.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you did.
And
yeah.
I just make the pictures, dude. Look,
Yeah.
I just make the pictures.
Yeah, like 20 series was essentially where like the bad launches of NVIDIA started.
Okay, I'll tell you this little fun story about the 20 series launch. So it was actually kind of fun, that launch weekend, because like Jacob and the management was over in, I believe, Germany for Gamescom, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we back home, we were like working on the website, getting everything ready and all that. You know, putting the finishing touches on the page. You know, it was kind of like a slumber party. It was pretty fun. I liked it. But we're like, okay, we're all ready to go here. I just need to like put up the graphics showing like what the price is. What's the price? And then, you know, PM team tells me we don't know. Like, what do you mean we don't know? We gotta update all this stuff. Yeah, NVIDIA is not going to tell us. I mean, why not? Because they're concerned with leaks. And of course, I can tell you from the inside, EVGA never leaked. We never leaked any information. All the leaks always came from within NVIDIA's pipeline. Like, you know, they have like, you know, parts down the production line where things get made and revealed. It's always within them. Or it's always within like other companies, like, you know, not to be mentioned.
EVGA for the win.
It was never EVGA. We never leaked our information. But, you know, they didn't trust us anyway. But whatever, right? So, like, the moment, like, Jensen announces the pricing on stage, that's when we get a text from Jacob telling us what the price is. And then we have to go update the database and then push the website live. That's how that had to work. It was ridiculous.
Drop shipping web production.
Yes, it was genuinely ridiculous.
I like your Skull I don't know, Intel Skull logo. Classic. I had an Intel motherboard that had that logo on it and it lit up. It's the best. Rest in peace, Intel enthusiast parts. That are not a CPU.
I was gonna say Intel's still around.
That are not a CPU.
I know I've been out of the game, but like I don't think it's shit that much.
They got out of motherboards. They got SSDs. Like, yeah.
Fair enough.
What do I do with that USB 3 connector? Where are you? This is the fun part right now. Okay. All right. Oh, the grommet came down. That's cool. Intel got out of Nux. Oh yeah. Oh, here you are. I'm not the greatest at cable management stuff.
No,
so I'm trying to change as little as possible. Hard drive, SSD. There's 4. I plugged 4 back in. So
all plugged in, right? Because
yes, so all 4 right there.
Okay. One was neglected once, and I had to go in there myself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? What is this jungle back here?
Well, USB 3.0 connectors are fun because and
funny listening to Peter's story about EVGA manufacturing. Since now being in manufacturing, I totally understand the pains EVGA was going through. Oh man, Sonic, you have no idea, man. I don't know, like, well, I'm trying to think. Like, what kind of metric should we hit here? Like, what would you say should be a goal for this stream? Because I've been saving these. I got 2 doozy stories.
Oh.
Like, absolutely doozy stories that I'm willing to share to the EVGA faithful who have come over to MiredMedia, who are obviously dedicated enough to see me come over here and embarrass myself. But also for Coalition here.
Yeah, because I love all this stuff too.
Okay.
I'm one of the EVGA
faithful.
Mired faithfuls.
Exactly. So I don't know what kind of metric we can hit here, but yeah, I got a doozy I could share. Like what are we at? 31 viewers right now.
On YouTube, we have 32 hanging out over
All
there.
right, we got.
This is actually like doing a good stream. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah.
I normally say 7 or 8.
Yeah, you know
so your presence is very much welcome, and everybody that's here.
Of course.
But I need to get this grommet back in.
Heard a lot of good things about EV GPUs before they stopped being made. Oh yeah. Again,
Darton, welcome.
When it comes to the actual production of computer stuff, of just computer hardware, like it's always a miracle, like how any of this stuff works. It's like genuinely. What kind of biscuits you got there in the back? Oh, these are Coalition's pretzel sea salt crackers. I want to hold it over the machine though.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's fine.
No, I don't trust it.
Skull, no, I didn't end up remaking the video because like that would have been so frustrating. So I didn't end up going to Micro Center today to look at 9070 XT stock because like I already saw online they're all sold out.
Yeah.
So I checked online and at around 10 a.m. and I'm like, yeah, they're all sold out on Micro Center's website. I'm not going. I'm going to make the video to talk about it though. And then after I finished the video, we looked again and I saw Skull's message and he said, hey, they're back in stock. And I looked, they're in stock again. So had I driven out there, I would have gotten there before they were restocked and then left after. How frustrating would that have been?
Yeah. Especially because you got to go down to Tustin, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's a healthy drive.
It's a little drive, yeah. So I was just like, do I really want to? I think I made my point without having to go there, though. Because, I mean, they did restock, but it's not like they restocked a bunch. They restocked, like, 5 of this and 4 of that and 3 of that. Like,
I got a Micro Center story for you.
Yeah, tell me.
Here's a Micro Center story for you. So this was for the 30 series launch, right? So, as you may know, I just remembered another one.
Nice.
What do you call it? As you may know, GPUs were a little bit hard to come by during 30 series launch, but theft was a big problem.
Oh, yeah.
Theft was a big problem.
Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah. And you might have heard like some EVGA trucks got stolen. That was the one you heard about. It actually happened quite often.
Really?
It happened quite often.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So it was just EVGA keeping it quiet, or
yeah, because you don't want to announce it to everyone that like your stuff is being stolen, because you don't want to encourage like even more panic in the market, right? Because like what good is telling everyone that the trucks are being stolen? You're just gonna like make scalping even worse, right? Mm-hmm. So and it's not like by announcing we're gonna get it back, but because the news leaked, we had to address it. I had nothing to do with it, by the way. Anyway. So we had to be very, very careful with our trucks. And one of them, when we had a shipment of GPUs to our headquarters, we were going to take that batch to Micro Center. So we had one of our employees go with the truck to the Micro Center to make sure that it was delivered safely, because we don't know what's happening here. For all we know, like it's the truck drivers are in on it. Like we don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
right?
That's fair.
So like we had one of our employees go with it. So anyway, we were like, hey, let's do a thing with it. Let's get it on social media, take photos of like people, like get some good PR here. EVGA helping the people, right? Mm-hmm. You might have seen this. It
sounds familiar. Yeah.
So EVGA Micro Center, like taking photos of people with their GPUs. We were trying to do like this gamers only push, right? Guy says like, oh yeah, thanks EVGA, really appreciate it. And then, takes a photo of the GPU for our Instagram or social media, right? And then you see later in his car with that same GPU posted on eBay. It's like, you scum fucker.
Oh yeah,
You scum fucker.
that happened. That happened with Jace 2 Cents. Actually, he was out there for the 50 series launch at Micro Center. Saw a guy buy one, and then talked to him outside the store. He signed it for him, and that same day, he found that GPU signed with Jay's signature on it on OfferUp.
And it's like, you wonder how people have their souls blackened over time, you know. But you know, I try to keep the faith. I try to believe that not all of you guys, except Brett, man, I don't trust him, that all of you guys are good people. You try to have to keep the faith, you know.
I'm trying to figure out the keying on this because it's kind of cool that it has one of those blocks where you plug all the front panel connectors into it, and but it's not clear to me the pin layout. So you see here, right? I'm thinking it goes like this, but I'm trying to see the keying on it because okay, if 1, 2, 3, 4, and then blink, that would be 1, 2, 3, and then blink. So it's not like that. It's like this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then blink. Okay.
All right then.
I'll just you know, we'll math it. There we go. That is something that's nice. There's like a front panel connector, right? Imagine plugging these stupid little wires in. It's the thing that we all hate the least in the PC building stuff. But these little blocks are cool. They tell you where to plug it in. You plug it on the block and just plug the whole block in, and then you're done. Like, you don't have to figure it out, pull up the manual, or look at tiny little lettering on the motherboard.
Yeah,
Robo in the house.
I've aged beyond the launch day lines. Yeah, just don't even bother. Don't even bother. Like, just be patient. It'll come when it comes.
This looks like a fan connector. What is it doing down here?
I thought that's where fan connectors traditionally went on the bottom.
Well, I just want to know where this is routed from because this, what does it say it is? PWM cable. Oh, it's to the little fan hub in the back. Okay. Cool. This is just for a PWM signal for any fans that plug into the PWM hub. But I need to plug this in. Do you want this back on there or do you care?
I don't really care.
Okay, because it's ugly anyways.
Yeah.
Now, so it's not, and you won't be able to see it, so it doesn't really matter that much.
I'm snacking on these carbs and I shouldn't be.
I made it dangerous.
Well,
what's your usual dinner nowadays?
Meat.
Meat? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Meat, vegetables, protein.
Since I work 4/10s now, I'm at work past my normal dinner time now, so I actually started doing Huel food replacement shakes at like 6 o'clock while I'm still there, and that's my dinner. I do that two scoops with some milk, and it keeps me full pretty much until I go.
Yeah, I mean that's the. I mean, I don't know if you're gonna do keto, but like keto is a game changer for me. Like, again, I know some like. The keto thing, like, to a lot of people, it's like vegans. Like, they just don't want to hear about it. However you manage your diet is fine. That sounds good.
What the heck?
It's like a loose bracket in there or something.
Yeah. Up here.
However you manage your diet is fine, but for me, keto worked. And I'm proof.
Yeah. You look great.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we gotta track down that loose bracket. Okay, so yes, I see it.
You want to hear a sad story?
Okay, I'll hear a sad story. We have some good stories.
Yeah, I'll tell you a sad story. So when I started doing the EVGA stream, right? I actually wasn't planning on ever doing it. Like, I was good doing the graphics on all of it. Like, I loved making the transitions, making all that. And then one day, Matt left. You might know the first version of the podcast, Matt and Jacob. So then they were like, okay, Peter, do you want to be on the stream? I'm
Matt Ford.
Matt, I believe that.
Ford, yeah.
And I was like, sure, whatever. I don't want to be on the stream, but like, I'm the only one here who can do it because I'm the only one that like sort of knows how like a TV show flow would work. I didn't want to. I like to be behind the camera. And, I'm nervous, obviously. I'm not like used to being on camera. I'm not super familiar with a lot of the nuances of tech. But I'm trying to do my best. And sometimes, especially before like the show became popular and like we started getting a real like dedicated fan base, saw some real hurtful things said about my weight.
Oh man,
Said some real hurtful things, and it made me very, very, very self-conscious.
The internet doing its thing.
Yeah. And it was really painful. There was a time where I was like, I didn't like when I would review the show to see what I could do better. I would put up like a little notepad file, like open up notepad and just cover my face. I just didn't want to see myself because I was just so self-conscious about it. But I will say that guy who said it, he never got to win a prize. Screw you, buddy.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. Got him. And he watched for a while too, and he would get mad when he wouldn't win.
What was that? Did you hear that?
I think your dog's running wild.
Oh, okay.
But got him. Who's laughing last now?
That's it. You don't. That's it. It's the thing I say a lot too. When I don't get treated particularly well in my field of work,
Mm-hmm.
And it's why you got to treat the help better. Like,
Yeah.
We're the people who have the control over your devices.
Exactly.
Why do you think you can like be mean to us?
Yeah, that's why I am a man of the people.
But also when you need stuff, we like doing stuff off the books as much as anyone else.
Right. Like actually, there are times where like I have to call tech support or some kind of customer support, and they have their script, and this is when the customer support is good and not like that kind of customer support. But when it's good customer support, like I'm just like, yeah, hey, look, I'm in the same industry, I know how it goes. Like, I'm just gonna tell you now. You can skip all that part. Let's just get to the good. Let's just get to the base of this. Like, I tried this, and this. I already know. So what's what's the next step? Like, I don't say like, I did everything already. Just give me the thing. Like, no. Like, look, I know the spiel. I do this too. Like, let's just jump past all that and let's get to the real part.
Yeah. What's funny on this motherboard is because like there's so much spots for M.2 here, it pushes all your PCI expansion to the bottom.
Yeah, I still love me some PCI expansions, man. Yeah. I'm still in that.
This is the being older generation with computers is just like putting PCIe card was always like what's cool that I can put in, right? Sound cards, like I always felt like sound cards had a missed opportunity to reach into the XLR space because they just look like regular connectors most of the time, right?
Yeah.
But
is that screwed in?
Oh, it fell out. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Good eye.
Yeah. See, that's teamwork makes the dream work.
Did new audio have the XLR connector? I forget.
No, it didn't.
So okay, yeah, somebody did, but as an input, right?
Yeah.
So as streamers became more popular, streaming in general.
Yeah, it's more of an industry now.
Right, and recording with instruments. An internal sound card, which is a thing of the past, can be brought into the current for streamers and content creators by having an XLR connector on it or a way to break it out. And then you have a high quality input on a PCIe device like that, and everything can be routed through there. Whatever, 2PC audio routing, or like you said, your 9.1. If you can take audio, the same exact audio out of both those ports or all the ports, and you can send it to different places, then you can have one computer send to a streaming computer, for example, and it gets everything. And there's not that much thought about it. Just connect the second set of connectors.
Yeah, I mean, it's different now because of all the people in the streaming space. But like at the time, you have to justify like, well, what's your audience? What's the penetration of like XLR devices to like your typical Twitch gamer? Like they're gonna be plugging in like 3.5 by 11. Like a lot of them don't even have anything more than 3.5 by 11. Let alone like RCA cables or something like that. So you had to make those decisions when you decide.
But I would have liked to see cool expansion stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's what makes that stuff cool.
Yeah, but you got to justify it with like actual market share.
2 fans. We're gonna take your old fans. grab everything.
That's the CLC, right? Or the
Yeah,
A.
AIO, CLC, same thing. So if you plan to reuse these, I can just leave these fans off and put in
I
some new
don't plan to
fans.
reuse that.
No?
I mean, you can Frankenstein whatever you want off of that.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure that it's just a simple one connector deal because some fans can be complicated. They're PWM. This is perfect. This is fine. We'll take these.
So, like, even though it's a closed loop system, water still evaporates from that thing.
This does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Has Peter seen the
Sorry.
EVGA J's 2-cent PC Chris one? No, I don't think I've seen that.
That one.
Oh, I mean, that thing?
Yeah.
That big beast of a thing?
That's the one.
The DGA? Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have the parts in it anymore, but
Yeah.
we have it up there
Yeah.
in the top of the set by some of the lighting as essentially a prop.
Yeah. The
Like a
DG8,
trophy.
yeah, the DG8 is a very, very one of a kind case.
Legendary, if you ask me.
It does have that old CRT TV energy.
For the right person, that is such an awesome piece to have in a setup. And they actually like are worth a bunch of money on eBay now.
Really?
Yeah.
One of those fell from one of the top of the racks on the warehouse once because somebody messed up doing it on the forklift. Almost fell and like crushed them. Thank goodness it didn't because I would not want that thing dropping on me. Just like I wouldn't want like an old Sony CRT falling on me.
Yeah. When we took all the stuff out of it, I still couldn't believe how heavy that computer or that case was.
The case alone is heavy.
Because my buddy had it full. He's a video editor.
Yeah.
And his whole thing is obviously video editing, but storage. So we had that with 8 hard drives in it.
And room to spare.
And a graphics card, and room to spare. You couldn't even see the hard drives because they were in that bay in the bottom, so it's like it hides everything well. But that just added so much weight that you're just gonna break your back to move that thing around. And it was so large, and a room like my size is kind of like the room he has.
Yeah.
How many places do you really have for a case that big?
Yeah. I mean, EVGA, intelligent innovation, like that really was like a philosophy of Andrew. Like he truly did. Yeah, he truly did believe in that in a lot of ways, and he was pretty quirky about it too. Like that thing there is like his design baby. Like he thought it through, and he thought that's what the market demanded. But obviously very niche market at that. One of the things that like is always like made fun of, kind of for the right. It was ahead of its time, but it was made obsoleted. It was obsoleted fairly quickly, which was the what was it called? It was called like the double view or something. Somebody who's very, very knowledgeable in EVGA history, we might know this. It's like it was a monitor that with one VGA port like was a double display, and you could rotate the screens back and forth. And of course, like nowadays, like 2 monitors is the standard, but at the time it wasn't.
Ahead of its time.
It was ahead of its time, very ahead of its time. But like because if you think about one VGA doing 2 monitors, like the resolution had to be pretty low. There was like some sacrifices that had to be made for that thing. But he really, really believed in that thing. But of course, like it didn't really take off that well because again, it was quickly obsoleted by the fact that you could just plug into like 2 DVI. Interview, yeah, that's the one. The interview.
So I have a problem here, in that these cables are very short, and I don't think they're gonna reach. So let me just measure it out. And if they don't reach, I have other fans this large that you may.
I recognize these. Yeah.
These guys, EVGA. Unfortunately, they're kind of loud, so that's the downside. But I'll try to see if I can change something in the BIOS to make them not run so loudly. But
we'll see.
They're 140s, but yeah, see the cable length difference.
So, in Andrew's office, he has an interview, right? I think he's at like one of the last working ones out on the planet. And at one point, like we got him a like Samsung. I think it's Samsung, like the G9 Super Ultra Curved
49-inch ultra wides. I deploy those at work.
Okay.
Dell versions though.
We got him one, right? And he didn't like it and he wanted the interview back. And it's like, are you insane? You are an insane person.
That's low resolution comparison. Like, it's not as sharp and all this stuff.
That is so boomer of him. Like, I don't want this. I want the one that I know. Like, I just could not understand it. But, he did not want the G9. He wanted his old interview because that's what he knew and what he trusted.
So I have a story about that model of monitor.
Okay.
A friend of mine, he goes by the name of Bitcoin Louie. We just call him Lou Dog. Okay. And he got one of those. He managed to get one, and it cost him. There was the way he played his money well with the crypto stuff. Then ended up costing him nothing really, because he bought it during a pump. Then it got the product, and then it came back down, and then eventually came back up. So whatever, it washes out. Crazy monitor, and it's high refresh. It's bigger than this table.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And then he sends me a picture one day. Broken completely.
What happened?
He thought, we've all moved an LCD monitor.
Oh.
And you think you can go, huh, and then just move it and grab it with one arm. He tried to do that, and then it went face heavy and went right to the ground.
Fiddle-dee-dee,
man. And there went. He had a $1,200 monitor for like a month.
Yeah, and then I'm sure he called in customer support with some story about, I got it like this and it was broken. And it's like, can you show us your receipt? You had it for a month and it broke.
Nah, he was honest about it. He was a goof, but the part that I thought would have been cool, and I actually pitched this idea to Linus Tech Tips, is that wouldn't it be cool to like fit in a smaller panel, so one that isn't as wide, but it fits within the curvature, and then use the extra space on the sides as like ducting, and then build a computer inside of it.
Oh, okay.
So it becomes an all-in-one unit.
Yeah.
You build a gaming PC inside the giant monitor.
But like, the heat dissipation though.
That's what the venting on the side would be for. Okay, let's see if this will reach. It reaches.
Nice. We talked a little bit about Andrew's big audio setup. It's genuinely insane. Here's another fun story that you guys would not know because this is Office exclusive.
Ooh.
Here's an Office exclusive. Have you ever heard of the brand called Hermes? Hermes. Okay.
No, I don't think. Is it computer parts?
No. Okay, so this is
Okay, no.
Get ready for this. Get ready for this.
Oh wait. Oh, the fashion Hermes.
Right? Hermes. Yeah. Hermes,
HERMES.
Yes.
Okay.
The furniture brand.
I didn't know it was. I think of fashion when I think of it.
They're very, 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 very high end furniture.
Belts, bags, etc. Says filling
Now, if any of you guys, just want to Google this up, like go Google up their website, right, and take a look at their furniture, and you will be absolutely shocked at how much some of this furniture costs. Because I was, and okay, so our lobby, you've seen our lobby.
Yeah, that's a cool lobby.
Okay, that lobby has Hermes furniture in it.
Oh,
has Hermes furniture in it. And one time for Christmas, we had to get our Christmas tree in there. So we were moving the furniture around. And they go, "Hey Peter, can you help move some furniture around in the lobby?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure thing." Pick some stuff up, move it around, just moving stuff. And my boss, but not Andrew, but my boss comes in and goes, "Peter, be careful with that." I'm like carrying like this big ottoman thing, right? I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, it's not that heavy. Feels kind of cheap, actually." It goes, "Peter, that thing you're holding costs more than your car." And I'm like,
just drop it, immediately break it.
Then I put it down, and at that point, I never touched that furniture again. I never touched it again, right? But this furniture looks like crap. It does not look fancy dancy or anything. It looks so innocuous.
So baroque.
Yeah. But it's ridiculously expensive, right? So there are times when we'll have new employees, mostly warehouse workers, right? And they'll come in and they won't have key cards to get in and out of the building because they're just temporary workers. They're filling in for a season or whatever. So they'll have to wait in the lobby and have someone else buzz them in because again they don't have key cards. And sometimes you'll see them like sitting on the very expensive couch with their shoes on it, feet up. Like one time somebody brought their like I don't know, like they were gonna have they brought their kid with them and they were gonna have their kid picked up by their spouse before they went working, and the kid was jumping up and down on the sofa. And I saw this and I'm just like, I'm just gonna let this go.
Just recorded it on video, send it to Andrew.
Yeah. I mean, what difference does it make? You jumped on it already. And the thing is, like, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like the kind of furniture you have to be careful with. It looks like the kind of thing you'd see at like Big Lots.
That's crazy. And they charge that much for it.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's weird. Fashion world is just strange like that.
The high-end furniture, and I don't know, maybe he's trying to compensate for something. I don't know.
But it's like
it never impressed anyone, that's for sure. Maybe if you knew.
Yeah,
you knew,
that's got to be the trick. Like the people who know, like they make stuff for the insiders, and that's it. And if you want broad appeal, obviously you have to have a better design.
I mean, it doesn't have broad appeal.
No, that's my point.
It doesn't.
It's designed for somebody to know that it's either they think it's trash and they can ignore it, or they know it's expensive. Right? There was no in between with that one, I'm sure. It sounds like
the 1%er life.
My food is consumed. Are you ready for me? Says Has. Ready for what? I don't think I can go to the casino. He keeps wanting me to take him to the casino.
Well, do you need a casino?
yeah, like one of the three in the area. Are you much of a casino guy?
No, that's a sin. I don't.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm a terrible gambler. I am too bold and dynamic.
Too bold? Like you're just all in.
I'm all in, all on black, baby.
No, I treat it as a sort of entertainment thing. So it's just like if I could make my money last, as opposed to like be one of those people that just go, I'm here because I want to win. Obviously, I want to win, but I also want to drag out how much.
No, I'm here to win, baby. I'm here to win. Yeah, that's why I don't go to casinos. I know I should not go to casinos. I'm too bold, too dynamic.
That's one way to put it. Vegas, Cancun. I actually did Cancun, then Vegas in one trip. It was we couldn't fly directly from Cancun to Vegas, so I ended up landing, coming home, and then resting for one night, and then getting back in my car and driving to Vegas. It was
one of my favorite
quite
places,
the trip.
Again, as a man of the people, one of my favorite places is I always forget the Riviera Maya. I love that place.
Oh yeah,
I love that place.
Down there.
I've been trying to get my friends to go down there on a trip, but the British, they're so terrible about stuff. I hate the British.
10, 7, okay, sweet. Yes, that is correct. Okay, they face down. It feels weird. This fan hub is strange to me. There we go. Because I had it in incorrectly. No wonder it felt weird.
Just looked up Hermes basic lobby chair, and it's like $9,300. Yeah. One of the most surreal things I think I've ever seen was I was going down the stairs to go out the front door to go to lunch, right? And in one of the side rooms for one of our brand new Hermes chairs that I absolutely refused to touch because I knew where it came from. But it was a brand new chair. And it was like set in a area that we host meetings in. And I saw out of the corner of my eye Andrew with like special furniture grease. Greasing up that chair. Just greasing the crap out of that chair. You go, boy. You go. you grease up that bad boy.
So I have a question for you.
All right.
This graphics card has an adapter that takes 3.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2, and I didn't sneak away the other one.
Yeah. So I asked Jacob about this, and he said 2 is fine. So I just went with it.
Okay, I'm gonna look for the other one if it's there, and I'll sneak it out and plug it in. We're almost there. We're almost ready to power it on.
Okay, so nearing the end here, I'll give you guys an exclusive doozy story. Doozy story. Before the launch of the 30 series, I almost quit EVGA.
Whoa.
I almost quit. And it was like a very, very dramatic moment. It was very dramatic. So what happened was, as you guys know, I just told you the story of the 20 series. I wanted to do that. Like when I joined EVGA, the 10 series, the 1080, the TI 1080 Ti just came out, and I was the second graphic designer, and the other graphic designer, he took care of the 10 series launch. For the 20 series, I was the lead graphic designer in the US office, so I was looking forward to showing my stuff and really like putting forth the best foot forward for the 20 series. It was like, this is the big one. Like everyone knows, like, 20 series in NVIDIA EVGA. I wanted to show it off, right?
Significant launch because of the introduction of ray tracing too.
Exactly. I was really looking forward to this. But then I got kicked to the curb because of this gentleman I told you about, Lyle Landley, right? So 30 series, I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this, baby. I'm gonna launch this page. It's gonna like be the coolest thing ever. I was working on designs all week, building the page, making it happen, looking awesome. Like the 30 series page looked awesome, right? I come into work one day, and I'm going up the stairs, and I hear, oh man, Peter's here. I'm like, what do you mean Peter's here? And he goes like, Peter, you're not gonna like what happened. I'm like, what happened? I have a counterpart in Taiwan. He is not a graphic designer. He is, I guess you'd call him visual designer. I don't know what that means.
Like a UI guy. Right?
Kind of. Like he would design the shrouds for the GPUs, right? And he would design, he would like oversee like how products looked, right? And he had all my designs for the page removed and had his designs put up instead.
Oh no.
And his designs were absolutely atrocious.
No. Industrial designer?
He was It was absolutely hideous, right? And I saw it, and I was like, gamer word here. What the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is this shit? No. And then, like, I'm told, we just got the word Taiwan is going to be handling the 30 series page now. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Because I was working nonstop overtime on getting this page up. Because, again, I'm working within the NVIDIA constraints as well of like, I don't know what the timeline on this is. I'm working quick, I'm working fast, but it's still looking good. I'm still really, really proud of it. And it gets taken away from me, right? And I go inside, like I'm like so angry. I go into the streaming room, and I'm just like, I'm trying to cool off, but I just can't. I'm just so over the top angry. I'm just saying, what the fuck is this shit? I do all this fucking bullshit in this fucking company. And like, I'm kicking boxes. I'm just throwing a tantrum in there because I've had it. I've just had it, right? And then Jacob comes in. And I'm told later that when Jacob was coming up the stairs, he's like, he can hear me through the wall.
Oh shit.
And he's like, what's going on in there? He's like, Peter's really, really mad. And then Jacob comes in and goes, Peter, what's wrong? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with the fucking thing? And then I tell him the situation, and like, we have a conversation, we have a back and forth about it. And then, I just straight up asked Jacob, like, did you know? Like, did you know this was going to happen? And he said, no, he didn't know. And I said, well, this is fucking bullshit. I'm not going to deal with this. Like, I'm done. And, he calms me down. We have a conversation. And it's like, yeah, sure, fine, okay, whatever. I let it go. And I continue on working, and it's. But what you may know if you ever watched the VOD on the 30 series launch, if you look at my face when we launch it, I have very strict coded words for that page.
He was blinking.
I was blinking. I was saying stuff like, "Yeah, so here's our 30 series page. Our good friends over at Taiwan took care of this one." Something like that. Like I just
maliciously complying.
I just did not want to take any credit for that because, again, the 30s, like, I don't know, like if you go to EVGA.com and you see the 30 series page, what it ends up looking like now, that is not what it was before. It is actually way worse. Way worse. You're looking it up. Yeah, it did not look like that. It looked way worse than that.
Well, I mean, this is phone version.
But yeah, I mean, no, it's really not that different.
Oh, okay.
It's really not that different from the original. The original one had a rainbow honeycomb pattern in the back because the card had like a honeycomb pattern on the shroud, and it was a rainbow honeycomb pattern. It was just a straight rainbow across. And I was like, who do you think you are? Like, we're going to get laughed out of the industry if you put this up. Right? And I was like, look, I don't claim to be like the world's greatest designer. Like my work is infallible here. But like, you kicked my stuff out for this? Are you fucking blind?
Yeah, you got to see the comparison.
Yeah, like are you blind? Right?
This configuration actually bothers me, but nothing we can do.
But yeah, I almost quit that day. On the 30 series. Well, I mean, not the 30 series launch, but leading up to the 30.
One of those
launch.
days.
Yeah, one of those days.
Crazy.
Came that close.
We could have lost them sooner than we.
Yeah, came that close. If Jacob didn't trick me into staying longer. No, he talked me out of it.
So there is it's not a big deal, but I have seen that sometimes GPUs are a little more stable and perform a little bit better when their other cable that plugs into the other connectors comes from an entirely other cable, not forked off like this.
All right.
That's why I'm just gonna but like we don't have the extra cables.
I mean,
and it worked like this for you before, so we're just gonna plug it in and put it back the way how it was. So you said it only two were plugged in, and that was cool.
Yeah.
That's alrighty.
When you say dig up the archive.org version, no, the version that I'm talking about never went live. It never went live.
He stopped that thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyone with common sense eventually saw it and was like, "What are you doing?" Right?
Okay, so we're not going to put this panel on yet, but it is now time to turn it on and install Windows, possibly.
Yeah. I might have a shot of it somewhere, like on my phone. I don't know if I saved it, but like, yeah, when that happened, I was taking pictures of it. I was showing everyone, like, look what they did. Oh, you know what meme I rotated within the company Slack. It was it was from The Godfather. Look what they massacred my boy. They massacred my poor boy.
Okay, cool.
Look what they did to my boy. Yes, that was me. That was I was like I showed that shot of what I did. I showed the shot of what was gonna go up, and I put up that meme. I was like, that was my heart, man. That was my heart. If I can find it again, I'll post it one of these days on MiredMedia.
Okay, so we're gonna now try this guy out.
Real quick, I'm gonna click on this. Let me just see.
Oh, yeah.
What fragility link here.
See.
Again, I don't think. No. Okay.
Honeycomb.
That honeycomb, yes, but it didn't look like that. It was a solid white background with a rainbow behind it. Like, trust me, it's very ostentatious. What ultimately went up was tame compared to, like, what was originally proposed.
What went up, was that your work that went up? Or was...
No.
Okay.
I had no touching of it.
No feedback?
No, it was all them. Okay. It was all them. I could not touch it. So I never got a chance to do a GPU launch. Like, I never got to design the page for that.
Damn.
It sucks, but that's how it goes.
that sucks.
Yep.
That does suck a lot. Okay, that's plugged in there. Then let me get you a power cable for the computer.
I'm curious of how much that Red Lip semi recall ended up costing. Not too much actually. Not too many people complained about it. I mean, they were happy to have a GPU.
I just like that it looked like it was gonna fire my lasers.
Oh yeah. Okay. I told everyone that these things looked like lips. I told them that.
Watch your feet.
Yeah. I posted the laser meme and everything. I told them it was gonna look like lips. I told them that people were gonna make fun of it. I told them.
You're barely in frame, but yeah.
I told them that was gonna happen.
I'm a firing my lasers.
But,
I have a picture. I ended up making that meme picture.
Everyone did. You know why? Because it was obvious.
But it was awesome.
I mean, yes, it was.
That's the lasers edition.
Okay, again, that was the kind of forward thinking of the guy who took the project from me. Those red lips. He just doesn't get it.
Okay, but all right. So then, my favorite EVGA cooler design was always in the 10 series. That like armored, but with the lights that can come on through the armor.
Yeah.
That was such a cool look.
Yeah, I don't know if that was him.
Okay.
I don't know if that was him.
Damn, where did that guy go?
Yeah. Here's another insider thing.
Gamer pants idea.
Very high turnover. Hey, Gamer Pants was my fighting back. Like, look, if I can't have a GPU, I'm gonna launch my own product. Damn it.
Is my Windows 11?
Yeah, the 30 series with the clown. Yeah, that was that guy. That was that guy. So this will install Windows, but I gotta get my own key, right?
Yes.
We'll find it somewhere.
That's easy. Okay, so moment of truth.
All right, it's not smoking.
I can't see any.
Well, this should be from a 0 to a 1, right?
Yeah. Okay, good. Simple. Look at it. That's fine.
That
happens. That's normal.
That's the teamwork part.
Okay, now we have power. So we're looking at a screen that we have right here, and hopefully it'll come on. I'm just gonna.
But Vince had final say for KPEs. I can't speak for Vince, but I do know he had a lot of control. And he also had like a lot of back and forth, like, he wouldn't always get his way, but he would eventually push his way through. So, he had a lot more influence in the matter than the graphics guy.
Come on. It does have to do memory training. It is 64 gigs of RAM, so it might take a little bit before we see anything over here. Do you have Windows installed on any of those other drives?
Yes.
It might try to boot, so we'll see.
So just keep hitting the F2 key.
True.
Or the Del key.
Yeah. But I want to see something flicker first before we get there. I do see the post readout going in the mirror.
Oh, okay.
The guy at the chat could see it.
Okay.
That's why Brett said it lives. Dude, that motherboard has RGB, but the way that it does it, it's nice. So much RGB that will be hidden.
Yeah, well,
it's subtle.
Like, I just don't care. I just don't care about RGB. See, all the products you buy, they all light up with RGB. It gets tiring eventually.
Oh man, Yoshi found the VOD where he thinks you're using your coding. Well, I don't want to pull it up here.
Yeah, well, check it out.
Yeah.
But no, if that's where we talk about the 30 series for the first time, then yeah, you could probably see my coded language. Again, I'm not angry on that stream, but I'm not happy either. Like I think I say something to the effect of like, our team overseas and just stuff like that.
Sure, this just comes right on. Yeah, hey, it
All
booted.
right.
It booted.
We did it. So are you gonna enable X3D turbo mode to boost gaming performance?
Let me look at this.
All right.
CPU. No.
You do have
No.
dead eyes in that mod. Yeah, that's probably it.
Yes. And it says, press Y to reset FTPM. If you have BitLocker or encryption enabled, the system will not boot without a recovery key. Do you know if you had BitLocker? Were you encrypting your drive?
No.
Okay, then we could probably do. We will need to do that in order to reinstall Windows. So
No OneDrive, please.
please no.
Hmm.
He's done it.
Hmm.
It's been done. Okay. Reboot again, please. Thank you. We got to enable XMP, Precision Boost Overdrive. There we go. Thank you.
All right, look at them numbers.
Where's the advanced mode? Think. Yeah. X3D Turbo mode is disabled. Yeah, because X3D Turbo mode, if you ever do see that, don't turn it on because it will disable one of the. Well, it's already on only one CCD. So if user wants a CCD control under AOD, make sure to disable. Yeah. No, we don't need that. Yeah, it's fine. So co-performance boosts.
The only thing I know how to do in here is turn on what is that?
XMP.
XMP.
Yeah. I'm just going to turn Precision Boost Overdrive on and then turn XMP on as well. Booster, XMP. And that's really all that we need to do. But what I'd like to do for people now too, see, like it was going to try to boot to Windows.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll have to catch it before it boots again and then throw it into my flash drive.
Yeah.
CSM disabled, correct. Secure boot should be enabled, yes.
Yeah, so tomorrow I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream because I'm going to have to spend most of the day installing a whole bunch of programs. I'm going to try, but we'll see.
Did you save your configuration at all? Or you're just gonna? Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, but like it's not like something I can import. It's just all the files are still there.
Right. Okay. You just got to rebuild it.
Yeah, just got to rebuild it.
Okay. Where's my profiles? Because what I like to do is I like saving just a profile. So if your BIOS were to reset, you just go reload instead of having to figure out what to change.
Got it. With an EVGA G3 850 watt. Yeah, that's killer PSU, man.
Profile name stock. Actually, XMP plus PBO.
I'm trying to remember. This G3 power supply actually is replacing. I think it was replacing a Corsair 650. I think it was replacing that. Yeah, when I got it.
Like a RM 650.
I think so. Because I remember I would be playing Deep Rock Galactic and my computer kept on shutting off. I guess.
Yeah, that'll. I had that happen with a 980 Ti Xeon PC build that I did. If certain games would just cause the whole thing to click off, it would just be gone. Yeah. And I swapped it out with another power supply from one of my computers, and I thought I had 100 watts more. I thought it was a 650 and a 750, but it turned out it was a 650 and a 700. So when I put that 700 in, I'm like, I'm not even sure this is gonna work, and then it did work. It was fine, so it worked out. Okay, cool. So we successfully applied PBO and XMP. So you're already at DDR5 6400 CL32. Love to see it. Let's boot you into the flash drive.
So it is a bird with a big buff arm, right?
Yeah. We're gonna go with that.
Okay.
Buff arm bird.
Buff armed bird.
Oris the Burninator.
Okay.
You're supposed to boot into the flash drive. What the heck was that? Automod got you.
Were you trying to say gamer words, Electric Yoshi? That don't fly.
You can improve them over there. Not so word it will have.
Well, I don't know. I might. Yeah, Automod's crazy about this stuff. So it wanted to say your new baby, and for some reason that was not allowed. Go figure.
I think it's booting off the flash drive now. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Yes.
So is this what is this? Pro or home?
Pro. Well, I can select it.
Okay.
I'm gonna end up selecting Pro. So don't have product key now right now. So you want Pro.
Pro, yeah.
Pro X64.
I don't even want Windows 11, but gotta do it.
Yeah. Do you have a free program recommendation to remove unnecessary bloater programs that Windows installs and can't normally be removed? I forget. There is one that does it. I think it's like Windows 11 debloater or something like that. I don't remember the name exactly. I don't really do too much of that stuff, so I don't know it off the top of my head.
That sounds good though. I want debloating.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where it's gonna get complicated because you have a bunch of drives in there connected right now.
Yeah.
Drive 4 is a 2 terabyte drive. That's a 2 terabyte SSD, right?
That's probably it.
So that's probably it. And it's unallocated, which means it's not used. It's not partitioned.
Yeah.
Everything else looks like it's got partitions on it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to touch those. That's your current data. So we're going to go to here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wunderbar. All right.
That'll be ready in about 15 minutes.
So
anything more to drink?
no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
How about this? I'll while we wait for this one, I will tell one doozy of a story. One humdinger. All right. I love EVGA. Yeah, a couple of highs and lows, couple of hiccups here and there. You know, but that's any job. Let's be real. That's any job, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will say one of the things that really warmed my heart is when I saw all the outpouring of support when EVGA left the GPU market, and like everyone's saying like, oh, EVGA is great. Why would NVIDIA do this? Da, da. Like, it was great to see all the love from the fans. You guys are not correct, though. That is not what happened. It is not what happened. Well, to be totally fair, I was fairly high up in the company. Like, I only had 2 people that I answered to, but really, it's a question of what did Andrew want, and I didn't really interact with Andrew that much, so I can never tell you what was in his heart. But I can tell you that he just didn't want to do it anymore.
Oh.
He just didn't want to do it anymore.
Wow. Dude, that's a scoop right now. You heard it here first, and only here. And
Again, I can't.
It's just between us.
I can't prove it.
Right? Just between you.
I can't prove it. Very speculative. But yeah, it was really the straw that broke the camel's back.
So, do you think that the current situation, people are saying that like EVGA saw it coming with how like the way that they're seeing NVIDIA is jerking around the board partners? It was just accidental foreshadowing, essentially. Yeah.
I mean, again, it was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Mr. Audiophile Furniture Guy?
Yeah, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. And it was like, you know what? He was, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, he felt wronged by them. And it's like, fair enough. Like, I didn't like doing those wait all night stay up launches to find out like what the price is on these things because you don't trust us when you guys like just keep having it leaked yourself. I didn't like that either, so like I get it, but yeah, he was again he just, I mean, don't get me wrong, no one's blameless here, but that's business, but he's a smart guy. He knew what he needed to do to not look like the bad guy.
It worked.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like I would love it if EVGA was still in the GPU business too. But like it was too tiring for him. He just didn't want to do it anymore.
It's just crazy to think of like it's that stressful to run the company for graphics cards.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, like
oh, it is.
And I see it now, especially the people, the younger me didn't know the amount of work.
Oh, yeah.
That stuff requires.
Like, a lot of people, they don't know like how thin the margins on graphics cards are. And it's not even like NVIDIA price gouging. It's just like, these are really high precision like machines that require a lot of moving parts in the mix that again,
yeah.
Like, yes, we made profits, but not as much as you might think. Like, from a $3,000 card, I think we got like maybe like $120
That's crazy.
per card. Yeah.
Hydra with I survived the queue. I have the shirt.
Yeah.
It's right there in the closet.
He could have always sold, and someone could have ruined the name. He could have. I mean, who knows? I mean, again, that goes into speculation territory. I couldn't tell you.
Has agent. I invited you and the team to come over and hang out while Peter was here. So shush, you could have been here. You could have been challenging him to Mega Man.
Oh man, I'm always down for that. What do you call it? But yeah, again, there's a lot of things that can't deny that was just Andrew's way of doing things, like the queue. Yeah, that's fan outreach because he believed in that. Just our return policy in general. He believed that treating the customer well in the long run is what keeps you in business.
They were very well respected for that.
That was company philosophy, and I like that aspect of the company. I just didn't like this aspect of the company of taking away my work and giving it to some guy in Taiwan so he can put a rainbow honey cube in it. But that's me. That's a specific thing.
I've tried 3 times, got told no. Now I'm sitting in the dark alone. I didn't say don't come over. I said no to the casino part, probably.
Right, so I saw a request from Marmite. So as a kind of scone, kind of scone for this sort of celebratory moment.
Oh, look at this. So it's actually it knew that you had the other operating system on.
Yeah.
This time it is throwing us into 11, so it knows it's the correct one. Which means you could switch over to the other one.
It's fine. Let's just get used to it.
Oh boy, here comes the Marmite.
Again,
for free.
For free, man. It's like honestly, I'm like I got immunity to this thing now. I don't even.
Look at this guy, just tanking it. Celebrating the beautiful upgrade.
Easy game, easy life. Now your turn. Go for it.
Oh,
go for it, man.
Okay.
I mean, you got the whole jar now.
I can't let you do it alone.
Yeah. You got the whole jar now. You gotta eat it You gotta get through it somehow. Look at it. It's so thick with Marmite goodness. It broke
the cracker. I should have tried using this as thermal paste.
Oh God, no. You don't want a Jacob's spill. It's not fine. Bring out the one chip challenge. Oh man,
we did it here.
Yeah, so we tried the one chip challenge too. And we wanted to save it for like a big stream. So like we held on to it for maybe a little bit longer than we should have. And the worst part of the one chip challenge was ours was stale.
No, dude, actually I think ours was too. We had got it in time for it. And I think that's just how they taste. They taste stale. It's got to be it.
I'll try something good. I'll try one of those.
This is much better.
Jalapeno ranch. What is this?
Jalapeno artichoke.
Huh. That's better.
It's much better.
It's actually food.
Let me. I have to do a local account for you because I don't like doing this Windows, Microsoft Online.
Oh golly.
There's a trick to it.
I mean, we're not plugged into the internet right now, so...
Correct.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't make it obvious. Here, boom.
Oh, man. Take this away. Make sure that you don't eat
See? Look.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
There's
no way around this. How do you do this?
I always forget the command to bring it up.
There's a secret code? Unbelievable.
I pressed F10, but it's Shift F10.
Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous.
Oh, I did it wrong.
It's genuinely ridiculous you have to do that.
Oh, it's backslash.
Like that's the one thing I really dislike about Microsoft. Like they force Bing on you, they force OneDrive on you,
and you're always just having to find the workaround.
Yeah,
and that at least the workaround's available. Once they make that unavailable, it's going to be a sad time. I don't know how else we're going to do it. The old trick is always just unplug it from the internet, and it'll give you the option. mass activation script and get your revenge with the free OS. That'll be on him to do at home. He can do that if he wants. But the codes are cheap. Use code like what's Bitwidth code? BW20 or something on SCD.
What is this? Something this is new to me.
What?
What magic are you speaking of?
Well, I don't know. Mass activation script will trick Windows into thinking it's activated. Or if you just wanted to use a key site, you can spend like $16 to $20.
Yeah.
And then you buy it, and then they just input the code afterwards. And there you go. You don't have to spend $150.
Yeah.
See, look, now I have the option. I don't have internet. Continue with limited setup. What do you want? Do your thing.
PETER.
P tier Griffin. Got it.
That works.
Nothing right now? Or?
Nothing. There's nothing.
Okay, you can set that later.
Okay.
Just troll Windows image search for old C. Imagine asking ChatGPT and it can generate it like it could with the Windows 95 codes. I think it was doing it with. Isn't that crazy? You just like, this is the code format for Windows. Can you generate one of these? And it just like breaks the code and puts it.
You can actually do that? That's nuts.
Yeah, ChatGPT was doing that for old. Nobody would use that version of Windows anymore, but it was able to break whatever cryptographic algorithm it was.
Like, could you do that with like a lot, like some older programs as well? Like, if you
yeah.
I gotta give that a try. Just for fun, of course. Just as an experiment.
Maybe we could ask Mippy for a Windows 11 Pro key.
I mean, Mippy is powered by ChatGPT, just a very mired and modified one.
The only way we would have it. I'm really old. It used to. I think they turned that off because that's how I used to do it all the time. I'd throw Windows 7 keys and it'd activate. I'd throw Windows 8 keys and it'd activate. Obviously Windows 10 keys. And then at some point, it just stopped working.
So this little thing with the artichoke dip here has taught me something, which is I've been on keto for 2 years now, and I've lost a lot of weight, feel great, feel healthy, promoting the diet. But I've learned that I have not actually learned any discipline whatsoever. And the only reason I've been successful is just because I've just been like keeping it away from my house.
That's one way, man. It works different for different people. I know somebody that had to do surgery.
Ooh, bariatric bypass or whatever?
Yeah. And the downside to that is now if you wanted like have a cheat day, for example, you can only have little bits of it.
Oh, yeah, because he's just staple his food. Yeah, but the danger of that as well is like, when the ring comes off, because he hasn't actually like learned the discipline to control his eating, like it's just gonna come.
I think he has, because actually to get the surgery, it's something like
you have to lose weight to get it first.
Right. So like 6-7 months of prep you have to do that. You're already strict just to get there. So like, okay, so here's what we have: 1, 2, 3, 4 serial ATA drives. And then,
that looks right.
And then your main drive here. I can probably connect it to internet to start updating things, but at this point,
I can do it.
It's ready.
Yeah, I can do it myself.
We're booted into Windows, everybody. It's successful boot. Build is good.
We did it.
Let me actually show you in Windows that it is 9800 X3D.
All right.
We are hitting it's like 4-ish gigahertz right now because it's not really boosting because we're not doing much.
Yeah.
8 cores, 16 threads. We got all your RAM, 61.6, so 6400 megahertz. We have 64 gig RAM, fully recognizing. All drives seem to be recognizing.
See, I put the RAM in. That's why it works.
No blue screens.
No blue screens, except for the blue Windows.
Blue Windows screen. The good blue screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So here we are.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, my man. Big handshake. There you go.
Cool. We'll shut you down. We'll button it up.
Thank you, sir.
And you're all set. Of course, it's a not mired build.
No, this actually went relatively okay, with the exception of the processor going in upside down. But
the cooler.
Yeah, the cooler. Yeah. I'm fine with that. Like if it wasn't mired, I would have been bored.
But yeah, no, for sure. Like I really, really don't want these builds to go mired.
Of course.
Because like when that happened and it killed the processor from what the core of what that was. We had to make an emergency trip to Micro Center at like 7 p.m. on a Saturday and build by everything. Because at that point, it's a whole new platform. right? And he wanted to do a new case. So what's a new platform and a new case? That's not a rebuild anymore. That's just a whole new computer.
Yep. But no, appreciate it, man. This was fun. You know, always great to. I mean, this was great to check out this setup. This is actually really cool.
Yeah, I have microphone configs, cameras everywhere.
That's
oh, this got knocked over. I didn't realize that. But it sees just fine. Yeah, this rig was cool because like I thought of this a long time ago. My overhead rig will move with the desk.
Yeah, this is smart.
And I used like a Dynamat material to help reduce vibrations into all that.
Oh, that is very smart. Yeah. Oh man, get me jealous now.
I mean, I don't know if you saw the back of the door. That's treated too. I have Dynamat with foam.
And the foam on the floor as well. Sound blocker.
Yeah, when my wife goes to sleep, I can close the door. I'm in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah.
All right.
Has Agent still wants to go to the casino. I don't think it's in the cards.
And I can't do a buzzball. I'm about to go driving.
Yeah,
so yeah.
He's got a long drive. So.
Oh man, yeah.
Let me get this back up here.
Yeah, as far as this goes, like I mean, I don't know, whatever you want to do with it.
You can keep your boxes. Keep your boxes. You never know when you'll need them.
Okay.
And so.
Man, Herman Miller chair. This guy.
What?
Herman Miller chair.
No,
that's a hiking chair. Never mind.
Yeah, that's a hiking. Herman Miller. What do you think I'm made of?
I thought you were a man of the people as well.
I am. Staples.
Staples, man.
Put that in there. So that's trash. A bunch of trash. Cool. That's your stuff.
Alrighty, lady.
Okay, so let me bring the camera back over here and just do a little outro. And then we can just pack away as
yeah.
The rest of the camera stuff.
The lights.
Yeah, I have a whole button set up to turn all the lights off in a certain order depending on what scene that I'm in. Yes. All right, thank you everybody. We have completed the rebuild, 9800 XGD, 64 gigs of RAM, new motherboard swap, hanging out with Peter, telling stories.
All stories.
Yeah, man, it was a great time. Fragility, Verret, Yoshi, Sloth. Has Agent, thank you for modding. I don't know about casino time. Damn it. Okay, the flashbang. Dude, I just got a 700 extra D. Does that one suck now? Absolutely not. That's still you have the second best gaming CPU. Period. It's not a terrible thing to have the second best one. It doesn't automatically go from being good to being terrible. It's still a solid CPU, especially if you didn't spend over $450, $500 for it. Let's see, scrolling back on up, Fragility, Yoshi, Verret, Hydro, Linux. Good to see you. You know who I don't see anymore? Fell Fiend.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, we had the homies Balsonic in here, Dogcoin. I saw Weeznator, Conga. Thank you for the follow. Quack with the 59 months resub. Verret with the gifted sub to Lithlin. Dogcoin with the 5 subs, and Festizio with the 5 subs. So-called Sloth also with the follow. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm sending Peter with some swag. He's got our pod. Wait, that was a medium?
It was a medium, yeah.
Ooh, was there other mediums there?
Yeah, let me take.
I'm just.
Wait, is this your favorite one?
No, I was going to give one to a different for one of Has Agent's viewers, and it was that one.
No.
I forgot to take it out of the bag. Sorry.
All right. I'll find one. No. If it is, it's fine. I can go with an L. I can take it as a workout shirt.
All right.
Yeah.
Work.
L's.
Just set it down. Fine. All right, cool. We're setting him with some swag. A shirt that maybe it'll shrink.
Yeah.
I'm glad I caught that.
Here's a fun one before I go. When it came to printing T-shirts for the PC crowd, M's were not very popular.
M's.
M's were L's, XL's, double
Oh,
XL's
I see.
were the most popular. Least popular.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Yoshi says the coalition shirts are super comfy. I've sent him one. So unfortunately, though, our I guess our merch vendor changed, and now it's a company called Fourth Wall, not sc.merch. And this is the reason I actually wanted to send that medium to another guy.
Yeah,
He ordered one of Has Agent shirts, and when we saw a picture of it, it's literally just like an ironed-on thing on a blank shirt, and I'm like.
Yeah.
Like the ones that we got
Not
from
down
our because they get sweaty and it's just they're weird. But like the ones that our old service used to have was direct to garment printed. It's nice.
Silk
It's
screen, all that.
yeah, it's good stuff. And these ones are from a local guy, and it's somewhere in between. And I think he called it direct to film. And it's sort of like iron-on, but it's a little better than the typical stuff. But I like these shirts too. These ones are comfy, so you'll enjoy that. I also have this. If he wants to put it on his computer, he can. You can put it anywhere else you want. A cooler maybe. It's one of these.
All right, thank you.
Frosted vinyl.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Dig it. All right, I'm repping another brand.
Nah, just a dude.
Just
Just a dude and his friends.
Oh, that's hot.
As well. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're calling it there.
Yep, shout outs. Very cool.
Funky Town out.
Funk man. All right. Thank you, sir.
Good night, everyone. Let me see who am I rating somebody real quick, actually. Imagine if Jacob's on.
I doubt it.
Thank you all again.
I'd be surprised if he was, really. But yeah.
Amniag.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool people.
Yeah. Okay, we'll send it over here. Well, so yeah, that's a good raid. Thank you for helping. Peter, step forward. 6 generations of CPUs. Good night, all.